It's July 14th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky. It's time to get in the weeds. A happy, smoky Monday in Toronto. I don't know what's going on. These wildfires are no joke, but they're blowing smoke in, and I was outside this morning, and it was just kind of hard to breathe. It was weird, man. It was weird. This whole weekend was weird. I don't know what happened. I didn't do much. Jeremy Lambert's here. He did a lot, but I feel like it was a lot of like, how are your fingers this morning? I think that's really the question. How are your fingers this morning?
I have a hurt thumb.
Oh God!
And see, this is a college football injury, actually. First season with the Akron Zips. Not great, gotta say. They're rated 61 overall, Joel. I feel like that might be the worst, like non-FCS, non-FCS team in the game. They're honestly god-awful. But I went 8-5. I lost the bowl game. I lost the MAC championship game. It was sad. That's all I did this weekend. I don't know what else happened, but I got an injury playing college football.
I also didn't play college football. I was out. I was outside. I was outside a lot, dude. I definitely watched a lot of wrestling on 1.75 and 2x speed, which was great. We did the aquarium as we seem to be doing all the time these days. Got a membership, why not? And then went to the park in the evening, which was nice. That was Saturday, and then Sunday was he's doing the kid is doing swimming lessons.
Oh,
that's
boy.
So this is his second week. First week he was both my wife and I went, and he was okay, but he spent a lot of the time asking for mommy and being upset. But the people there, the lifeguards are fantastic, the instructors. And then this week it was just me and him, and he was better. He had a couple of minutes where he was freaking out, but no, mostly he's good. He's going with a friend, so that helps. But it was good. And then the afternoon was mostly just chill. He was chilling out with my wife, and then at one point she sends me a photo. It's him asleep in our bed because they were just kind of hanging out reading books in our room, which we do sometimes, like for quiet time. And he just conked out, fall asleep, and he's in the bed and he's cuddling a phone that we use for white noise at night for him, and it's playing cat music. So he's like cuddling this phone that's playing cat purring. It was very cute. And then the rest of the day was just off the chain, just a whole lot of running around. So did I watch wrestling? Did I not watch wrestling? I guess we're about to find out. This is my way of saying no. I watched none of it, even though I just told you guys I did. And I also did the Saturday night's main event post show on Saturday. Go watch that. It's 40 minutes of pure joy. Jeremy, any wrestling show, whatever the length is. I know length is always a discussion we talk about on the show. I wish we had sponsors that would sponsor the length of this show. But when we talk about length, I always believe that the post show should never be as long or even half as long as the actual show.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why in a 90-minute Saturday night's main event, adding commercials, I say with the commercials, it's 2 hours, but let's take out the commercials. It's an hour 30. Your show, if it's 90 minutes, your post show should be no longer than 45 minutes. That's why I went 45 minutes on my Saturday night's main event post show. And here's the thing. Alex and Kate, they went 3 hours and 31 minutes on their All In post show. But I can't be angry because All In was a 7-8 hour ordeal. Yeah. So I can't be like, that's too long. They went under the 2 hour limits. Or the half limit is what I meant, not the 2 hour limit. They went under the half limit. It's ridiculous.
So what you're saying, Joel, is this can be a 10-hour show?
No, Jesus, no.
Because we got SmackDown, that's 2 hours, right? I'm going to try to add this up here. Math is not my strong suit. We got ROH, Super Card of Honor. How long? That was 4 hours? That was like 8 to 12.
Did I went till 12?
Yeah, it went till about 12.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll round up 4 hours. So
4 hours.
We're at 6 hours
now.
Are
we counting 0 hour on this?
Oh, we won't count 0. Although 0 hour did have...
There were matches.
Frat House and Blake Christian tapping out Jay Lethal. All right, 7 hours. It was only a 1 hour pre-show.
It's fine.
All right. We got Great American Bash, which is about 2.5.
2 hours. I got 2 hours. I watched it this morning and it was 2 hours. An hour 56 when they cut out all the crap.
Okay, fine. All right. so 2 hours. All right. We got All In, which was 7 hours.
7 hours, I think 8 if you no, I think it was 6 hours and 8 hours if you counted the
8,
0 hour.
8 hours with the 0 hour. Oh boy, what's that?
So
17.
what are you 8
I'm
and
at 9. 17
9
hours.
9 and 8, yeah, 17.
All right, 17 hours. Saturday night's main event. It was 2 hours.
2 hours. I mean, I say an hour 30 with commercials, but you can do 2 hours if you want because we did SmackDown at 2 hours. So yeah.
What were we at? 17.
17. So now we're 19.
19. Evolution
was about 3 hours.
Yeah, that was about 3 hours. So
do we count
20,
that? There was no pre-show match,
no.
So yeah, 3
20,
hours.
21, 22. So this can be an 11-hour show today.
You know what the best part about that logic is? We are not a post-show podcast. Ergo,
we're gonna review every single match in detail. From the weekend. Including the GCW matches, because I watched Shotzi and Cardona. I watched Joey Janela and men like DeReese, because Brody Jr. Oh, my mic probably is low because it's way too far away from me. Hold on, everybody.
Yeah, I had pumped it up while you were talking, but
all right, there. Yeah, is that better?
Oh, that's 100% better.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I had it way too far. I didn't realize it was so far away from me.
All good. Now I can bring you back down to where you were.
My fault, everybody. All right. So, an 11-hour in the weeds today. That's what we're doing.
No. Listen, I'm off tomorrow, which is great, but no, I'm not going to go in frazzled and go out frozen. No.
Cowardly. I want to go 11 hours, everybody.
Great. You and SB3 can set up a time to do an 11-hour show. I'm sure. Listen, I know that
SB3 is going to do about 50 hours of work this week.
I know he's a busy
50
guy.
hours of podcasting.
And I listen. Oh yeah, and there's that's right. The Tokyo Joshi Pro matches were also big, and Prestige.
Oh, yeah.
You got to add
Prestige,
everything up.
Yeah. My friend went to Prestige last night. I'll see if he wants to come on the show. And...
Okay. Was it a fun show?
Yeah, he got to hold the internet championship, Matt Cardona's internet title. He's very excited.
I would be excited about that. That was a cool title. We want 12. You know what? If you want 12, go watch Grapsody today. Okay, they're gonna be live at 3 o'clock. I think.
Yeah, they're gonna do at least 12. At least.
Listen, everyone in that chat is pushing them to do 6 hours, and it's like, why? I mean, I know why, because it's banter to listen to.
I don't even feel like you have to push them to do 6 hours. I feel like they're already just gonna go 6 hours.
They typically go 3. They've gone 4 a handful of times. They did, I think, 1 5-hour, but they had John Gresham, not that one, but the other one, the podcaster Gresh. Right. And they went, I think, about 5 with Gresh. That's wild.
They'll do. I feel like they'll do 6. Honestly, I feel like they'll do 6 easily.
Listen, ITW 24/7 is something we can do when the sponsors roll in and the money is there, or if we're given the graveyard shift on Pro Wrestling Nation. That's when we'll do it.
We will do a 24-hour charity stream at some point. I don't know when. I've said this before, and I will honor this. It's gonna have to be probably more in the fall section. Can't do it during the summer. Got too many kids at home during the summer, so I can't do a 24-hour stream during the summer. But during the fall, when they're in school and everything, we can do a 24-hour stream. I will at least do 24 hours. I don't know if Joel will be here the entire time, but I will be here the entire time. I can do it. A lot of energy drinks is what I'm going to be loaded up on.
Yeah, you're going to be pissing in bottles is what you're going to be doing.
That's fine. I take a break. Everyone understands bathrooms got to be used. It's okay.
Speaking of breaks, why don't we go ahead and do the leaving the thumbs up gimmick? Go ahead and get to that. We may as well, because we're 9 minutes in and we should probably do it. Leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't already. We're going to have a good one today, maybe. If the pyro goes off. I guess we spent, there it is. I was going to say we spent all the pyro on All In, but now it's back. We're good. It was spent all on Osprey's entrance, which was fantastic. We'll get there. And also, while you're leaving a thumbs up, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, you're missing out on the best content. Tony Khan replied to us on Friday's show about karaoke, for Christ's sake. Probably one of the best weeks we've ever had on this program. It all came down to interviews and strange morning interactions with people. But that's what we do here. And of course, you can donate a super chat, any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. And of course, it supports us here, which we love. You wanna hit this vanilla fumble real quick?
Oh, sure.
Why not? We got one from Vala as we do. Vanilla Fumble.
I'm vanilla, baby.
Is what we call when you do a retirement match, but it's on a show with ads. Jeremy covering this show was hilarious.
So I legitimately was going to pop on the Saturday night's main event post show because I know you're doing solo. I know you don't mind doing it solo, but I wanted to, bring some ITW connectivity to the post show. The problem was All In didn't end until about 9:00. So the show wasn't over until halfway through Saturday night's main event. And then I had to wait for the press conference, which didn't start until about 9:30. So I couldn't do anything there. And then the press conference was deep into things by the time you were on the air and done. The press conference was still going by the time you were done. So I literally had no chance to jump in and just stay for more than like 2 minutes because I had to cover the press scrum. And the press scrum was like fine. Toni Storm's great as always. Athena did the best she could with the questions she got asked.
Okay, hold on. So I didn't. There was way too much. One thing I cut out from this weekend was post show stuff. I didn't watch press conferences. I watched like bits and pieces. I heard about the the Athena Goldberg question. Yeah. What was the Goldberg question? Because I just heard she was asked a weird Goldberg question.
It was just like, was this moment bigger than a retirement that's happening in Atlanta? Goldberg wasn't even mentioned. And then Athena is like, who? And then the person just says, oh, great answer. Great answer. It was such a like got ya question that like they were just looking for like a clickbait headline of like Athena buries Goldberg or something. And it was like, this is dumb. Like, one, don't ask that question. It's a dumb question. Two, like you phrased it in such a dumb way that just say like, hey, what do you, if you're going to ask it, which I don't think you should be asking Athena this question, mind you. But if you're going to ask it, just be like, hey, what do you make of like WWE running a bunch of shows up against All In? Like that's how you phrase it. But it was such a like a gotcha moment. And then Athena did a good job of circling back and just like, I'm just focused on myself, like, not worried about what's going on around, like that kind of stuff. But it was such a gotcha like question. And Athena just saying like who, I legitimately think she said who as in like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you referencing here? I don't even think Athena was trying to give like who, Goldberg? Like, I don't think Athena was trying to do that at all. I think she was just like baffled by the question and was just like, who, huh? What's going on here? It was so stupid though. And then the questions at the Evolution press conference. Why are we asking about Jelly Roll and Goldberg and all this stuff when we just came off of Evolution?
They didn't do one last night, and people who were at both nights. And I'm not making that's not an excuse,
no.
But it is the reason. Like there were people who were there both nights. Riccacino is one of those people, and like I'm not. This isn't me like saying, oh, Rick shouldn't have asked any. No, it's more
Rick didn't ask a question. Triple H. So
regardless, the point was like for people who were there both nights, this was like the only option, the only time they had to ask a question like this, and to be able to at least put something out there. But I agree with you, time and a place. I just understand that from that perspective, this was the only chance they had to talk to Triple H in that setting. So I think some people were like, I got to take advantage of this now.
I don't disagree with that. The Jelly Roll question came from a Variety reporter. So, okay.
Could be very sense. Well for a Variety article we're going to do on Jelly Roll's involvement in SummerSlam.
Yeah. The Goldberg question, I wish the question was different because they just basically asked, like, what do you make of Goldberg's run? Like, ask the question of why you cut everything short and had to move things around and you cut off his retirement speech and everything. That should have been the question, not like praise Goldberg. And then there was another question. Oh, it was the usual, like, what's it mean to be into the city of Atlanta for this show? Like, that's the first question. I swear it's a plant. I have no insight on this. It's the first question every single press conference he gets is praise the city that you were in. I
I'm
swear
telling
it's a
you,
plant.
I don't think it's a plant. I think it's literally they know. Again, going back to my WrestleMania experience, they know faces, they know names, they know your outlet. Like they're very
Yeah,
good
I
at
know.
memorizing this stuff. They know who the local media guy or girl is, and they're immediately like, let's just get this out of the way because we know you're going to ask about why it's important that you're in the town that you're in because we have to talk about that in our publication. Like those are our marching orders. They just get that out of the way right away because it's feel good, it's easy, and yeah, it does set the tone for what they hope is an easygoing presser. It's
So,
not a plan. It's literally like they
I
know
know.
who they're going
I
to give
know.
it to get that question off immediately.
I know it's not a plant. They asked. They call on a person who is like local because I'm pretty sure this person was local. They call on a person who's local, more or less knowing they are gonna ask the local praise our city question.
Exactly.
Somebody should have asked, but he cut it off before they got to the questions. Like I'm sure somebody's gonna ask about Seth. Yeah, it's not looking good. He's going to get it looked at. Somebody should have asked like, was Seth's injury part of the show? I'm not enjoying that part of the show.
I did think about that. Someone in the chat being like, "Hey Triple H, what's it like to be in New Jersey?" I hope Triple H is just like, "God, this place sucks. Get me out of here. Get me in my car. Let me go."
New Jersey's great. 2-night WrestleMania, 2-night SummerSlam.
They've never done a 2-night Mania.
I know they did. Well, it was the last one-night Mania.
A last long Mania. That's right.
Uh,
Well, now that's been overtaken.
It has been.
Now WrestleMania next year's WrestleMania is going to go all of 9 hours because of you people.
All right, we'll get into All In.
Do we have
Let me
to
say this. I mean,
oh, you mean later? But like we'll get there in a second. Yeah.
yeah. We'll obviously get to All In. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had more to add to
I'll
that.
say no. I was.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll say this about All In, and I've said it a million times, but I'll repeat it again. I don't care how long your wrestling show is. I did not care one bit that this was a 6-hour show, right? It started at 3, ended about 9. I don't care one bit that this was a 6-hour show. That was completely fine with me. You know why? Because they started it at 3. You want to do a 6-hour show? Fine. Start it at a decent hour. And they did. They started at 3. So it was still over by 9. Great. I still had to cover a press conference, which sucked. But if I didn't have to cover the press conference, I would have been fine with this show being 6. I was fine with this show being 6 hours because it was over by 9. Don't ever do a 6-hour show and start it at 8. Then I will be very angry online. But 6-hour show, start at 3, no problem. Was all for it.
I watched it yesterday. I watched it admittedly at 1.75 and sometimes 2x speeds. I missed nothing. I watched the whole show and I took breaks because you know what? I'm much happier when I get to do that. And that is again, if you're not covering it, it's not your job to watch it live and you don't feel like you need to watch it live, don't. You'll be okay. I get it. You want to stay off social media or maybe you want to interact with social media, whatever. I've gotten to a point in my life personally where I'm like, I don't care if it gets spoiled for me. If anything, it's going to be more enticing to go back and watch how it plays out because I'm seeing the words. I'm not watching the videos. But for me, being able to have the entire day of not watching wrestling and then knowing I got to cover and put my attention into a different show to cover for later, that gave me the incentive to then sit down, watch All In pieces the next day, knowing that I had until Monday to get it through. And I enjoyed it so much more doing it at my pace in my style than watching it in a way that I may not have enjoyed. So again, watch it. We made the joke like Tony Khan loved to do, watch your wrestling. That was his whole gimmick for the first few years in AEW, right? Watch your wrestling. This is one time where I'm like, watch your wrestling on a busy ass weekend like this. Do it at your pace and do it in your way because there is no lack of people giving you their opinions about shows. And that's all we are. These takes don't matter. We're just here to entertain each other for 2+ hours a day. And we appreciate everyone who comes and hangs out with us and interacts with it too. But we do it on different planes. And then while I was watching All In, I cut in pieces of Evolution as well. I was trying to catch parts of that live. I wanted to watch the Battle Royal live. I wanted to see the finish to the EO match, the EO Rio match. I wanted to see at least how the Blake Monroe turn was going to go. And I guess it went, but something happened. But yeah, the point is I did things my way and I was happy to do it because it was my way. So Do it however it's going to make you happy. If I had sat there and watched the entirety of All In on Saturday at my desk, I probably would have been miserable by the evening because then I'd have to do another 2 hours on top of that. But no, did it my style. That was great.
I watched all of All In. I had Great American Bash on. I went back and rewatched Great American Bash on Sunday morning because I didn't catch enough of Great American Bash during All In. I caught enough of Saturday night's main event to where I didn't feel the need to go back and watch it. I've said the big stuff there. I caught most of the Goldberg match because even though I don't remember who was up at the press conference, but I was listening while watching the Goldberg match, and it wasn't like a difficult match to watch or anything. And then I was able to watch the Seth stuff because that was the waiting for the press conference portion. I didn't catch all of the Drew and Randy match or Jimmy and Solo. Didn't care to go back and rewatch it. Otherwise, I caught everything pretty clean as it was going on. I had to cover SmackDown on Friday, so I watched SmackDown pretty easily.
You didn't watch it on TikTok?
No.
You don't get the joke from...
Oh, no, it was a Tiffany Stratton reference. No, I got it. Yeah.
Sure.
I watched it on VHS, yeah.
Good stuff.
So I caught all of SmackDown. I had ROH on and caught enough of what I wanted to see on that. And SmackDown was over by the time like the main portion of ROH got rolling for me. So I saw all of Bandito and Takeshita and all of Athena and Thunder Rosa. So yeah, I multi-screen as usual. Always had to multi-screen this stuff. And both monitors are right here, so it's not like I'm looking in multiple directions or anything. Like it's very easy setup to where I can watch what I need to watch.
Yeah, when I got to do that, I've got one here. My desktop is there, and I've got my laptop if I need it. That's just the way I do it. Some of the chat being like, so how terrible was Saturday night's main event in Great American Bash? Honestly, it's not that they were terrible. It's just that there were ups and downs. It was a bits and pieces show. Great American Bash.
Bash was
fine. It was inoffensive. I think that the Ricky Saints Ethan Page match was fantastic. Like it was okay, maybe fantastic's too much. It was a lot of fun. It was a really good match. SP3 is going to jump down my throat later. It's fine. It's a perfect match. Whatever. I'm not doing this. I'm not playing this game right now. Thought it was a really strong match. Really fun. I thought that Jasper Troy and Javon Evans for the opener was good stuff. It was fun. And what else was good? The contract signing was whatever. I had to watch for the contract signing. That's really all it was between Santana, Hendry, and Trick. By the way, if you did watch it, they do the Trick entrance and they show Carlos Silva in the crowd.
His TNA wrestling hat.
They sell that now.
Do they? Okay.
The Carlos Trucker hat. They I was so upset because they brought it out like the week after I brought it up on the post show. Suddenly it was on the shop and I was like, son of a bitch, I did this. I did this to myself. They show him in the crowd. First of all, I need to know why that hat. When Sean does the interview, I need him to ask, why that hat? What is it about this hat? Why can't you wear the TNA logo? Why are we doing it like this? Because it's big block letters and people will know. Anyway, point is, I digress. He's in the crowd. He's supposed to be the guy who's so pissed off that the NXT guy is his world champion, and he's in the crowd doing like the bop, Suddenly he's like, "Oh, it's so catchy," but I gotta show them.
It's a good song. It's a good song.
I was waiting for him to like mouth the Booker T stuff. I like it, but instead he's just in the crowd. Anyway, again, Great American Bash was inoffensive. The fact that it went 2 hours shows that it was very much like an episode of NXT, just a special one. So it was fine. People had a good time, and if you go out of your way to watch bits and pieces, you'll probably enjoy it. Saturday night's main event. Listen, I know people want to dog on Goldberg's last match going into it, but dude, the match was fine. I thought it was one of Goldberg's better matches. I talked about it on the post show. I thought that Gunther and Goldberg found a way, and the reason why it was perfect for Saturday night's main event is because they had the virtue and the pleasure of doing it on network. Where guess what you have, Jeremy? Commercials. And what do you do during those commercials? What do you do?
Go to commercial.
When they go to commercial, what does the talent do in the ring for those 2 minutes?
Play Uno, which is now going to be a game you can play in Las Vegas for money.
Cam and Tony Storm were ahead of the curve for those who saw Media Day. So you rest holds, you get rest holds, and that's what Goldberg needs. And that was part of the reason why they put it on a show like this, in my opinion. And that's why it worked. They did a good job with the match. I thought it was laid out well. I thought the story was there. I was a big fan of how they played it out. It was good. So if you go back and watch it, you'll probably enjoy it. And then if you go to try to watch the retirement speech, well, you can't watch it on the show.
Yeah, they posted it online at least.
Did,
finally.
And of course, like we did report on Fightful Select that they felt bad backstage that it got cut off. Something. Sure. When they finished the match and they went to a commercial break after the finish, I was like, no way they're cutting 4 minutes early. Like, you just can't do that. And they come back with the Made in Georgia graphic, and I was like, what recap are they going to show? And then they're in the ring, and it was like the ending to a Saturday Night Live show. Like, I was like all the talent in the ring. I was expecting a ragtime piano in the background, like, good night, everybody. But no, it was like a Goldberg giving thanks to everybody, and it was fine. But yeah, they just cut it off early. So go if you're going to go back and watch anything from Saturday night's main event, like, that's the match. It was a solid last Goldberg match. So yeah, that was it. And it sucked watching the stuff with Seth go down, because it definitely put a damper on the night. LA Knight winning. I went in thinking LA Knight was going to win, because that's what they do, because it's Money in the Bank holder, right? They typically beat those guys, but also they like LA Knight. So anyway, not the case. Seth was always scheduled to win, but because of what happened, obviously LA Knight, they called the audible. He does the BFT 1, 2, 3, and like, Knight is playing this really well, because he's pissed that he won this way. He's happy that he won a match, but he's also concerned because of what's going on for real in the ring, and you can see it on his face. So I thought that was really interesting. And I mentioned on the post show, I give Seth full marks, because if you watch the play-by-play, if you just watch the show, one thing Seth does, and this is how much he knows the cameras, the ring positioning, and everything, he's grabbing the rope as he's talking to Paul Heyman, and you can't see his face, you can't see his mouth move. Normally, a wrestler would just have hair in front of his face, and that's how we get away with it. No, Seth has got his arm on the rope, and he's covering his face so that nobody can see what he's saying. So for the lip readers out there, they can't see it. And I thought that was really, really good on Seth to know that camera positioning and know how to keep that kayfabe going while still dealing with a real injury in time. So yeah, that was those were the moments from Saturday night's main event. Honestly, the rest of it, Bianca getting a return pop was huge. People were really into that, and it was otherwise just a 2-hour Saturday night's main event show. Exactly what Jeremy and I said it was from the beginning. Start off with, when they brought it back, it was super hot, and now it's just gonna settle into mediocrity.
I mean, they've had moments though.
Yeah, of course.
Goldberg's retirement match. I'm with you. I thought it was good. Probably better than most people thought it was going to be, given the state of Goldberg. But in fairness to him, as mentioned by him, that Roman match, he wasn't 100%, and it showed. It looked like it. He had time to prepare for this match. He got stem cell treatment. He was training his ass off for it, and he did as well as he's gonna do at his age with the miles on his body. And I know he hasn't done a ton of wrestling, but you just got to think of the football, the travel, just being old. It's still miles on the body. So he did as well as he was going to do on that. Gunther is obviously great. So as someone who watched the most recent Goldberg matches recently, this was as good as you were going to get from him. And it was good. It was good, all things considered. I thought it sucked that they cut off his retirement stuff, or they had time is the thing, because Seth and LA Knight was done by 9:30, so you had a half hour at that point. You could have figured that out. You could have gone to Goldberg and Gunther quicker, and you could have given him time at the end and give him his. Obviously not as long as he needs, because you got an out at 10, but you could give him more time on that. I thought it was just poorly timed out, and they should have been better about that. But what can you do? The LA Knight, Seth Rollins stuff, very unfortunate. I'm sure we'll talk more about Seth tomorrow, because we'll probably get an update tonight on Seth. Triple H mentioned that he's in Birmingham and that's where Raw is tonight. So it wasn't like they had to go somewhere. They had to fly Seth to Birmingham to go see Dr. Dugas, who,
Admittedly,
that
that's a
poor guy.
convenient trip for him.
Yeah,
Going to Birmingham, because that's where usually the big surgeries and repairs get done.
right. I'm sure we'll have more on Seth tonight, which means we'll have more to talk about tomorrow. Here's my pitch, though. If Seth is out for a while, which we don't know yet, if he is, though, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is the leader of this group. Get her in there. That's my pitch. She's so good. She is so good as a heel. Much better than Seth is. Sorry, Seth. It ain't all clicking there as a heel for me. Becky is so good, though. Get her in there as the heel. She can hold the Money in the Bank briefcase. I don't care. Put the world title on her. And I'm fine with that, too. She's the greatest of all time. I want Becky as the leader of this group in place of Seth. That's my pitch.
What would you call them?
Just Becky and friends. Who cares?
Oh, I like Becky and friends. It's very straightforward, very easy. Can't call them the BWO, can't call them the LWO, can't call them the BLWO because people will absolutely call it the blow.
3 men and a Becky. I don't know.
3 men and a Becky is perfect. Given the t-shirt.
Wait, hold on. Can they be they can be the 3 Bs.
Triple B?
Yeah, Braun, Bronson, and Becky.
With Paul.
The Beck Riders. Okay.
The Beck Riders.
Yeah.
You can't call them the Lynch Riders. We'll get real problems.
Yeah,
can't call them the Lynch Mob either. There's already a band of the same name anyway. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. What would you call them? I don't know, chat. I was already on the chat on Saturday about what we call RK Roll is such a bad name for a tag team. I'm calling them Jelly Roll. I'm calling them Jelly Snake.
Jelly Snake?
Yeah, man. It's my team, baby. Jelly Snake.
What about Jellio? I'm calling them Jellio.
Was this a cereal?
No.
Jellios.
Jellio. That's what their name is. I ain't doing RK Roll. That's dumb. They're Jelly.
It is a dumb name. They just want to do RK something.
Yeah.
RK Jelly would be, that's what you call them. That's what LA Knight's going to call them. Listen up, RK Jelly. We get some KY Jelly. The Rock's going to come back.
Yeah, The Rock, yeah.
The KY Jelly plan. Anyway.
Well, the Man and the Men's not bad. Great
The Man and the Men.
House of Becky. Okay.
Thor, 3 angry men and a man.
I'm going Jellio for RK Roll.
Oh, House of Becky.
Like that was a moment, right? The Jelly Roll taking the Claymore and setting up that match.
Yeah,
and everything. And we talked about it on Friday, how they were gonna set that up, and it was fine. Like, Jelly Roll wants to wrestle. He's gotten in better shape. This stuff isn't necessarily for me, but there's an audience. We talked about Friday. Like, is there diminishing returns on this? We'll find out. We'll see how much attention it gets. Jelly Roll is going to do a lot of promotion for it. Logan Paul is going to do a lot of promotion for it. Drew and Randy are going to do a lot of promotion for it. So we'll see if it draws new people in without pushing away fans of the product.
Said it before and I'll say it again. It's not, you're already invested. You're already watching. This can be your piss break if you're looking for an excuse to get a break. This can be your time off. That's okay. That's okay. Someone else is here to watch specifically because they want to see Jelly Roll, or they've seen the RKO memes or whatever it is. They like Logan Paul for some reason. All 4 guys in the and Drew McIntyre, all 4 guys in the ring have made somebody interested in coming and watching. And maybe it's not you. Fine, take a break, go relax. Viper Roll as a team name sounds like a sushi roll I'm about to order at lunchtime.
Okay, I'm going Jellio. That's it. That's what I'm going with.
Jellio. Someone put JRKO is hilarious.
JRKO.
JRKO. I mean, it works, but also it's like it's a little too on the nose. It's just Jelly RKO.
What about JKO?
JKO.
Yeah.
What is JK Rawlings? No, she sucks.
I'm going Jellio. You're not budging me on this. Jellio is what it is.
Jellio. Like Tally-ho with Jelly-ho?
Oh, like...
No, I know what you're doing.
Jello, but Jellio.
Jellio.
Yeah.
Sounds like Doesn't sound right. It sounds weird to me.
Well, that's what I'm going with.
Nah, I get it. Listen, like Grace is in the chat saying it's going to be a bathroom snack and changeover laundry match. Fine, go for it. If you're like me, you're wearing headphones while you watch anyway, and you can walk around, listen to the sounds, and then go do whatever you want. Go to the bathroom. Who cares? It's wrestling. And you know what? I'll take Jelly Roll, who actually gives a shit and is trying, versus like, I don't know, Jeremy Piven coming in and saying Summerfest. As funny as that is, and it's hilarious for us, I at least want to see someone come in and like know what they're doing and be a fan. Like Jelly Roll was singing Randy's theme music as he came to the ring. I thought that was fun. I thought that was cool. So I'm fine with it, with him coming in.
They've done a good job of, maybe Travis Scott's an exception, but it seemed like Travis Scott. That album, by the way, sucked. Man, he released
Scott album.
Yeah, it was.
He was too busy getting ready for WrestleMania.
It wasn't him. Like, it was his record label, Jack Boys. I'm pretty sure is the name of it. But they released like an album. It came out on Sunday morning, and I got 5 tracks into that thing, and I turned it off. Like, this just isn't for me. I've been listening to clips the entire weekend. You know, when I've had some downtime. Everyone, a shout out to somebody who mentioned my headline here. That is a clips reference. That Travis Scott album is awful, man. It's not for me. I get it. I know people like it. I'm sure it's gonna do like millions of streams and everything. The kids who listen to Travis Scott, I clearly raised them wrong, but they enjoyed it. They're like, oh, it's good. I was like, oh man, appreciate you, Greg. They're like, oh, it's good, and I'm like, yeah, I got 5 tracks into that. I couldn't do it anymore. They're like, what do you mean? It's so good. I was like, nah, I can't. It's all like auto tune and like synthesize. It's just loud. Like there's no music. It's just, you know what it is? It's the screamy version of metal music. That's what this is. It's the rap version of screamy metal. That's all this is. It's terrible. I can't do it.
I get it.
Everyone listen to clips.
The loudness wars have been a big thing for a long time. I remember when Death Magnetic came out for Metallica. That was a big point of issue for a lot of people. The music was good, but it was too friggin' loud. Then there was no dynamics in the music. The loudness wars have been beyond metal. It's been a big problem with production in music for like the last 10 to 15 years, and it doesn't need to be. I need more producers and more artists to be willing to play with the limits so that the end user turns it up or turns it down and not just wants to turn it down. Like dynamics in music matter. You'll learn that from the beginning of your musical journey. Have you thought about putting your kids on the trade block?
Ours. I'm trying to get them to listen to, I kind of got them into the Kendrick. We went to the Kendrick concert. I told them to listen to the Clips album because they do like Tyler, they do like Kendrick, and both of them have verses on the Clips album. But yeah, they like Travis Scott and Playboi Carti, and I'm just like, oh, what is this music that you're listening to? It's not for me. I like some lyricism, I like some beats that I can vibe to, not that I feel like are just blowing my eardrums and yelling at me. You know what beat's killer? The beat on Inglorious Bastards on the Clips album, man. If you put that on and you can't like just vibe to that and like just nod to that, I don't want to speak to you anymore. Just we're not friends anymore. That, I assume Pharrell did all the production. I should probably look at all this, but whoever like put that together, the whole Clips album like is the production on it is great. But that song in particular, they were on fire with that one.
You're selling me on it. I might go take a walk later on when the smoke is cleared. Literally in the city.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Even if you're not a rap fan, like just the beat on that one is so good. But even the music on that, again, all the production I think on the Clips album is really good. And then the lyrics, you either get the lyrics or you don't. Like there's a lot of a lot of double entendres and things like that. There's a lot of good rhyme schemes. Like, I said it on Friday. Like Malice, I thought killed every single track, but and that's the other thing with the Travis Scott album. He's like taking shot at Pusha T, and he's like, all these old rappers are funny, made a million off of pushing T's. I'm like, ah ha ha, you did the Pusha T pushing T's line. You're super creative here, Travis Scott. That just sucks.
Listen, you are a great father at the end of the day. It's not your fault. It's the children who are wrong. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
Never forget that. I'm just looking at Blake Christian's tweet from All In. Yo, at Jack Harlow, you busy next year?
Yeah, we're trying. We're
doing it. We're manifesting for the man. We're helping him out. We're gonna do it. He's out here singing the song. Let's go.
I got Alexa Bliss Gamer. Where have you been at? Alexa Bliss Gamer? He revealed that on our show.
Yeah, man. I just flat out asked, "Are you supposed to be Axiom?" And he's like, "Yes." But then he put over a kid for doing it. Who knew a kid could do the job of a vanilla baby? We just graduate. They were like, "Vanilla, you're a baby. We need a kid to do this role." And he's like, "Say less. I understand." Kim Gray sent a super chat saying, "Jelly's a good dude with a great story. No problem with celebs if they come in with respect for the business." And that's it. Respecting the business is like the number one thing in wrestling. It is like the reason why people it is the reason why people get involved and stay involved, is because they show that respect. It's the guiding light for wrestling. It's two things. It's respect for the business and leaving it better than you found it. Those are like the two guiding principles of wrestling, and keep your opponent safe. But whatever, no one cares about that. The safety's stupid. By the way, we'll talk about All In a minute. Deathmatch galore. But anyway, but the point of all this being, if you come in and you respect the business and you respect what you're doing and you show that you care about being there and you're authentic, the crowd follows you along and the crowd will go for it. So
that's what I was getting at before I went off on a Travis Scott's album sucks tangent,
which is right.
The people they've brought in, for the most part, have seemed to want to be there and want to do stuff, at least in ring wise. I'm sure some of these friggin' people that just have these cameos are just, I don't know if they care or don't care, but the people who are like getting in the ring and stuff, like they're taking it serious, and that always helps when it's not just, hey, we're just paid to be here and that's that. Like, if you're gonna get in the ring and you're gonna actually be a focal point on the show, you got to take it serious and you got to show some respect to everybody backstage. And Jelly Roll seems like that's what he's been doing. And by all accounts, like every interview that I've listened to with Jelly Roll seems like a really nice guy. Seems a very down to earth guy. So I don't really have an issue with him. And not necessarily for me, but I'm watching anyway. And I do find this stuff fun. So that's fun.
Yeah, exactly. So shall we dive into... Should we do Evolution first, or should we do All In? I feel like All In's going to be like the main topic of conversation here.
Yeah.
Very quickly with Evolution, just because we're just on the WWE block, Naomi cashes in. She wins the Women's World Championship last night in the main event. Very unexpected. I had like a second during the double down spots where I was like, would they do a cash in here? And that's what happened, but I was surprised. I think almost everyone was. Naomi comes in, wins the Women's World Championship. Suddenly the Jade beats Tiffy at SummerSlam, and then Naomi cashes in immediately. That idea is completely out the window. A lot of people were going on that one, but no, big surprise. I don't think anyone was upset by it because Naomi is very well liked in wrestling, in and out. I saw a lot of TNA people who were very happy for her, as they should be, because Trinity brought a lot of eyes and a lot of rejuvenation to the Knockouts division in TNA, and Trinity herself said that it helped revitalize her career, give her that confidence back. So good for her, man. I thought that Naomi winning was a great little surprise that they added to the end of the show. That was also a solid 3 hours of women's wrestling. People really enjoyed it overall.
This show proved a lot of things, but one thing it proved is they can pace a pay-per-view. They can do it. This show had 7-8 matches. It went almost exactly 3 hours. It ended, I think, just before 11, maybe right at 11. And there was no downtime. It didn't feel like I was waiting around forever. It was a very well-paced show. How can they not do this every single month? Why are we getting 4 match shows that somehow take the same amount of time? They can pace these shows. They just apparently choose not to. And that's the frustrating thing. Is we know they can. They proved it here that they can. So this should be the standard from now on. We shouldn't accept, 4 matches on this card, and you're only going to get about 20 minutes of wrestling in these 4 matches. And you're going to get 80 minutes of commercials and ads and talking heads and this promotion and that promotion. We shouldn't accept that anymore. I know a lot of WWE fans haven't accepted that, or a lot of wrestling fans haven't accepted it. But now you've shown that it doesn't have to be this way. So stop making it this way. You can give us more matches on these shows, and you can pace it well enough to where it doesn't feel like a complete drag like some of your shows have.
I agree. I also, I'm looking at a comment. Cyclops is better than Wolverine. Not calling you out. I want to address the statement. So a lot of doom and gloomers were hoping that Evolution was going to be a bad show so they can concern troll all night. I don't think people went in with the thought that the show would be bad. I think a lot of us, myself included, were saying that it wasn't given the care and build that it deserved. And as a result, ticket sales faltered all the way until Friday. And why did they pick up on Friday? A couple things happened. One, Nikki Bella went out and did a whole lot of press. You cannot underappreciate or underserve how much of a name Nikki really is in and outside of wrestling. A lot outside now. So for her to go out there and push that, did a huge deal. They also had people coming who went to Saturday night's main event and decided, you know what? I like this show. I'm going to go to the next night. There were some walk-ups as well. There was a lot of push at the end of the week to get people in the door. And as a result, here's another thing, by the way. A lot of fans were getting passionate about the fact that this show deserved more than it was getting by way of not only the build and the number of tickets sold, but they also thought that the women deserved a better placement. And they're right. They still do. But as a result, more people came, supported the show, and enjoyed themselves. They had 8,000, 9,000 in the building. Good for them. They deserved more with the better build and more tickets out. They could have done it if they had put some more care into it. I think that's really where the problem was from the get-go. And Vala pointing out, they also slashed ticket prices, and that helps. Yeah, that's why I always tell people, don't buy them when they go on sale. Get them at the last minute, because there will always be a seat for you in a spot that you want for a lesser price at any show at any time. I promise it happens. So show was great. I mean, it was by no means was it perfect, but I thought that in a lot of ways the women went out and they did exactly what they were going to do, and that is put on a spirited show that proves that they are very much on top of the shit. It was a really fun event to watch.
We're not going to do this. Oh, everybody was doom and gloom, and look what happened. They delivered. As a retcon of the build being awful. This is the same thing, and I'll do the company to company comparison. This is the same thing people try to do with the Death Riders reign. Like, oh, was it actually that bad? Yeah, if you went through the whole moment, if you went through the whole reign, there was a lot of times where it wasn't good, and we all wanted it to end. They stuck the landing, and we'll talk about that. Great. But that doesn't forgive the months that were not good with this. Evolution, the women worked their asses off on this show, and it was a great show. But we're not going to excuse a awful build and tacking it on to the end of a weekend and putting it up against a Beyonce concert just because the women went out there and did all of the hard work. Because the Triple H, didn't do a ton of the hard work leading up to this to make it feel like a big event. Credit to the women for going out there and showing everyone's like, yeah, you know what? Well, Trish, this is the thing. Trish was out here saying the build wasn't good.
Exactly.
And she wished it was better. All right, we're going to downplay Trish's comments. Big E mentioned it during the post show as well. He's like, the talk was the lack of the build and Beyonce, the women went out here and killed. Yeah, the talk was the lack of the build and Beyonce because that's all we could talk about leading up to it because that was the talking point. The build wasn't good. The women killed it though, and we'll credit the women. But I'm not going to give any credit to WWE for their awful build for this. The women deserve the credit.
Yeah. And again, Cyclops, like, we're not coming after you. It's just you brought up the talking point, and I'm addressing the talking point. And that's not that we don't think you specifically are someone who's saying
it's a generalization.
It's a generalization. Absolutely. Yeah. The build is awful, but guess what? The wrestlers came in and wrestled, and they did a great job doing it. And multiple people who work for the company on the air pointed out, the build sucked, but goddamn was the show good. Like, that's what we got. Steph was on the show. I told you she would be there, Jeremy, the inventor of women's wrestling, and they gave her a microphone and they had her give her thoughts as the creator of women's wrestling, including her amazing Peggy Hill Spanish. Oh, when she got in the ring, she's like, I want to ask this in Spanish. I'm like, yo soy Peggy Hill. Like, Jesus Christ. Stephanie Vaquer wins the battle royal. This is how we get to the Spanish speaking Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie Vaquer is going to Paris. I mean, she was always going to go to Paris, but now she has a match scheduled for the show in Paris. So she basically just asked the tee up question: how does it feel to be a legend? How does it feel to be you, legend? And Stephanie Vaquer just knocked it out of the park in English and Spanish. So good for her winning this thing.
I'm disappointed Candice Michelle did not win this battle royal. I really thought she had it.
He was hoping that, say her name and she appears.
What was Michael Cole doing last night?
A couple of bottles of Hennessy.
This was a
bottle of Jack.
This was an awful Michael Cole performance. I don't know if he's gotten worse after everyone praised him as the greatest announcer of all time, but he was terrible last night. On top of the Candice Michelle, which he not only messed up like once or twice, he messed it up like 5 times. And he messed it up even after he got called out on messing it up.
I think he turned it into a bit at that point, but it was a really bad bit.
I don't know.
I'd like to hope that that's what happened.
The whole, like, this is Trish Stratus's first singles match in 18 years. He was trying to say, like, first singles title match, but he said first singles match. I was like, he had a rough one.
He was partying with Goldberg last night. He was up all night. I get it. No, I'm not going to make excuses for him. I thought he was subpar. He was clearly not fully into it, but what are you going to do? We knew Michael Cole was going to be on the call. It's funny because last week we were talking about, like, which women could they just cycle in and out, because there has to be someone who has experience doing that type of announcing or that type of color commentary work, but there weren't many who were easily involved or involvable, if you will. It sucked that Lillian Garcia had to call out, but I was also happy to see Alicia Taylor get the opportunity to call that show, because I thought she was going to do it until they had Lillian for Saturday night's main event, which she's been doing. So I guess it made sense to ask her to do both nights. But obviously in the end, it didn't matter because she had a respiratory inflammation. So she's hopefully getting well soon and taking a break from speech. I get it. If you're a singer, if you're a talker, you got to take care of your voice. It sounds like she just kind of had a busy Saturday and it messed up her Sunday. That sucks. But yeah, Michael Cole was not on top of his game last night.
Yeah, we talked about having a women's commentator, and I wish they would have had Jackie or Kathy in the booth, do a 3-person booth, and just have a woman out there. I don't think they have anybody for play-by-play, and we discussed that at length. And I don't think it would have been fair to. They might have done better than Michael Cole did last night, honestly, even if they weren't in that position. But I don't think it would have been fair to throw somebody out there who's inexperienced at play-by-play to try to do play-by-play, because then people would have potentially harped on that, and it just wouldn't have been fair. Again, after Michael Cole's performance, don't know if it could have been too much worse. I do think they could have had Jackie or Kathy out there to do a color role and add a little bit to it, but they didn't. They went with Cole and Barrett. An understandable decision all things considered, this is more an indictment on maybe get some females prepared for some commentary roles, and not just of like a token commentary thing. I assume somebody back there might want to try their hand at it. Maybe get some prepared for that, and have someone on commentary to do that, so we're not stuck always with Michael Cole and Barrett and McAfee and Graves and Joseph and Booker and Peter Rosenberg and who else is, and the other person on the Evolve
Robbie E.
commentary.
Robert Stone.
Oh yeah, Robert Stone. Yeah, like maybe just have a female in that role so we can have a little variety there.
I think I agree with you. I also think that they might also be trying to do that, and it's very possible that they're just not finding the right person. I also think that if they're not finding the right person, then they have to widen their net and look for someone who's been out there and actively trying to get those reps in under commentary or color. We've seen wrestlers come in under the NIL deal who are suddenly doing referee spots, and that's fine too. So you got to find the right people. Pile Driver mentioning good commentaries are few and far between. So you have to find the right person. Not everyone's Michael Cole, and that's hilarious to say because 10, 15 years ago, people were dogging Michael Cole for the work he did, and now people have realized to have someone in your ear, have production in your ear, have that show going on with the format that it is, the craziness that it is, takes a very special person to do it. And I think they've been trying people out, but I don't think that they found the people they want to work with. At the same time, people who are currently in the spots that they're in, maybe just in the right spots for them. A good example of this is Jackie Redmond. She's a fantastic interviewer, panelist type. I don't know how she'll cross over if she tried her hand at commentary or color, because I don't think that's something that she has done for hockey related content. Yeah. She'll talk to a camera, but that's a little different than watching the action and doing the commentary live. It's a different beast altogether. So people saying, she should be doing it, or even Big E should be doing it. I think some people are so good where they are that they don't want to chance it. Someone in the chat mentioning Kelly Kincaid, who used to be Quinn McKay in ROH. And yeah, she did do some commentary at ROH. She also was working, I think, a 3-person booth at that shows. So whether or not she fits, that's up to WWE wanting to put her in that position. She has been a backstage interviewer for NXT for the last little while. She's someone that might be able to make that jump if they decide that they want to try her out. Or maybe they have, and we just don't know because she doesn't really do many interviews or answer questions to media about stuff like that. But it's something I would ask if I was given the opportunity to talk to her. So it's sometimes it's not for a lack of trying. Sometimes it's just for a lack of finding the right fit. And that's it. Someone in the chat was asking if Gail Kim was there. Fightful Select reported that as of midweek, she was not expected or planned for Evolution, and Gail maintained online all week that she was not there, not involved. She was not at the show. That's what she said. So that's where we're at with that. No one's told us, oh, Gail was there, show or surprise. So there you go. For people saying Veda Scott, I don't think Veda's WWE bound, given her situation. I'm not going to say that your partner warrants where you go, but they are married to Speedball. Speedball's an AEW talent. So whether or not Veda would be, listen, I think that Veda would be interested in going where they're allowed to do the work they want to do most passionately. And I don't know if WWE has come calling to Veda, but I don't know what the status is given Speedball status as well.
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't know either. Like, that's a question for Veda if she's been asked or has any desire to do that.
Exactly. Is there anything else from Evolution we really need to get into? Where's Nikki Bella going next?
There's a
She's going to New Jersey?
I thought Rhea and Io was exceptional, and then the cash-in was a very big surprise because, yeah, we all thought that, she's going to cash in on Jade after Jade beats Tiffany, and that obviously did not happen. Now it looks like we're going to get Naomi and Stephanie Vaquer, which I'm all for. That'll be the battle of the headlock, head scissors bangers there. We'll see how that goes. But I thought Rhea and Io were having a great match, and now Rhea still has not beaten Io, which is still a story. Maybe they run that back at SummerSlam with no title, because I think you can run that back with no championship, or you just wait. You wait on them and run it back a little bit later on, and the story is still, hey, you haven't defeated me. But I thought it was a great match. Io jumping off the production boxes with both of them, really, but they didn't go crashing through a table or nothing. That was just flat. I'm gonna jump on you, please catch me, and bless both of them for doing that. That one was a tough one, but it was a great job by both women in that match. And yeah, the shock of Naomi coming down and winning, that was a good call. I understand some people might be upset of like, oh, we wanted a winner between Rhea and Io, but I like that they kind of went in a different direction instead of the obvious of Naomi cashes in on Jade. And now Naomi and Jade it's kind of done. Jade won. That's the end of that. Naomi's now going to be on Raw with the championship. Jade stays on SmackDown. We'll have a feud with Tiffany going into SummerSlam. We'll see how that goes. I thought Tiffany was very good against Trish. Probably her best performance as champion. I think Trish can still go. Trish is better now than she has more to do now. She's working with better talent now, but she's holding her own in there. It ain't like she's being led or anything, because that was the concern with this match. Is Tiffany hasn't given the strongest performances, and if Tiffany's gonna lead, how's that gonna look? Trish can hold her own. Like, Trish is still just as good as anybody else they got at this point. So I thought that was a great match, where my expectations were a little bit lower based on what we had seen from Tiffany and where Trish might be, considering she hasn't wrestled a ton. And the matches she had previously, singles matches, were against Becky and Charlotte, who are Becky and Charlotte. Yeah, and top to bottom, the show was really strong. The triple threat match was great. And I love the finish on that. Becky winning, I think, is the right call, because she rules and she should now lead the Beck Riders, or the Triple Bs, or the Becky Mob, or House of Becky, or whatever it might be. And Becker winning the Battle Royal. Blake Monroe turning, although was it an accident? I don't know. We gotta wait till NXT. That was another Michael Cole miss, man. Like, it's a rough one. Just a rough one.
Worth noting for Trish, Fightful Select reported that it's expected that Trish will wrestle again in WWE this year. So what that looks like, who knows? Could be SummerSlam, could be later on in the year, but the expectation is that she's going to be back. But yeah, again, good match with Tiffany Stratton. It was a quick match. They got in and out, gave her the ring to have Trish have her moment afterwards, and it was fine. It was good. The Blake Monroe turn. Again, going back to Fightful Select reporting this last week, and we mentioned it on our show, the expected turn, it played out as we talked about it. It would be, Great American Bash. They win the tag match, do Jordan and Monroe. They beat JC Jane. Monroe pinned JC Jane, which was, of course, to give credence to a title match down the road. Been saying it since the beginning. JC Jane dropping the title to Blake Monroe was always like the thought process, not Jordan. So Jordan now gets another shot at a feud, something that she can sink her teeth into with Blake Monroe, and not just be a woman who goes after titles. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, they did kind of underplay the finish with Blake using the title on the back of Jordan Grace. It is just not super strong the way they got there. But Jordan went on TikTok, as she usually does, and did a whole video like, gonna beat up this woman. So she's going to try and pick it up. She's going to try and pull up the creativity to make this thing make sense. But we'll see. Again, I love that you don't befriend Mariah May at any point. Mariah May, Blake Monroe, that blonde lady, the British blonde lady, don't be friends with her. It's over. That's what BBL is. And it's British blonde lady. Anyway, yeah, so I'm looking forward to Blake and Jordan having a match of some sorts, or some sort of build. Maybe they'll go a little hardcore with it, which I'd like. And for now, JC is going to take on Masha Slamovich at Slammiversary on Sunday, and that's going to be title for title. So that's going to be a winner take all. Man, there's multiple ways to look at this. You can make TNA whole and even up the series of who takes whose titles, or Masha Slamovich just loses her title and then goes away back to TNA. I think Masha's winning. The problem is, I also really like the idea of doing a different. Yeah, Jeremy's gonna walk away for a sec. I like the idea of doing a JC loses Fatal Influence to Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe takes over Fatal Influence, and then she goes after those titles. I don't know. Maybe it is Masha and Blake Monroe. I don't hate that. But yeah, the idea of TNA deserving like a WWE title because they've just taken, like Trick has had the TNA title for a bit. If they have the Knockouts division featured more prominently on WWE TV, where they're calling it like the best women's wrestling in the planet, you can put focus on the Knockouts division coming over a little bit more, which I would not hate. I did a cutout once upon a time for a single shot. So now if you come in there, that just brings us both down there. Right. So yeah, I was talking about JC losing Fatal Influence to Blake Monroe, and then Masha potentially winning the NXT championship because they might want to start bringing the Knockouts division over to NXT because they keep talking about the Knockouts division being the best and WWE saying that their women's division is the best. The Knockouts division has not been the best in a while. Like full disclosure, they're not where they were 2 years ago, but I think they want to give them a little bit more than what they've been giving them.
That match is going to end in a DQ.
I said the same thing on the TNA post show, but I don't think they're doing that anymore.
Okay.
I think they're going to have a finish, but you also have to remember you can get out of it really quick, have someone win on Sunday, and then by Thursday have someone drop one of those titles again because they're doing Impact Live. So you could do it just as quickly.
All right. I think that match is ending in a DQ. It's going to be, a fantastic match, though. It's going to top...
It's going to top the first
Ospreay and Takeshita.
I mean, it might. It should. We want them to sail the 7 seas?
It's going to... The rematch we've all been waiting for.
Masha, the one I wanted, damn it.
Jane. That's very true. That's undeniably true.
Wait a minute. Mariah May Blake Monroe turns heel in July. She's a face April, May, June.
Tell you, man. You Xeno Hour. I don't care if you're the top weed. Ban you.
That makes him top weed forever in my book. Oh man, but yeah, I see 2 belts, Masha. I could see it.
All right.
I think Masha's winning. I think they want to give her a bit of a shine and give TNA something. Okay. Again, both companies love to talk about how deep and how great their women's divisions are. I feel like this might be the first time where they actually do it. And again, one leg up that WWE or that NXT has over TNA is that they're live. So if they can bring more TNA talent in to do a live Tuesday match versus the recorded stuff that they usually have, you can get a little bit more out of some of the TNA talent that come in and go after Masha. I think Masha also is deserving of a look. And I think this is one way that WWE, again, gets that free look, just like they did with Jordan, just like they're doing with Joe and Mike Santana. This is their opportunity to do the same with Masha because they know that they've become a pipeline for some of their better talent. It's, again, NXT gets to look at the top TNA talent and pick if they want to take them. NXT also gets to send some of their talent that needs a bit of a more reps. Like Dark State, for example, they weren't getting over on the TV, so they sent them to NXT. Or so NXT sent them to TNA. Now TNA is going to get to work with Dark State for a bit. Like, there's a reason for the way they're doing a lot of this. You can see it if you pay attention to the talent. You just know who's looking for what.
I think Trick's just going to lose the title to Santana, and then they're going to give the Knockouts title to JC. Like, one NXT talent lost the title, but we got another one to win a title.
You get Carlos Silva in the background, just being like, "Oh, come on!" Throws down his trucker hat in disgust. Puts on like a Shawn Michaels NXT title, or so it's an NXT hat, but it's the cowboy Shawn Michaels hat that he wears.
We'll see. We'll see with that match. I think it's ending in a DQ though. That's my initial thought. Or like you said, if they do put the title on Masha, I don't think she's gonna have it for very long, and she could drop it as soon as the Thursday live show.
It's something to do. The problem is if it's the Thursday live show, it's probably gonna be dropping it to like you know who.
The NXT title?
No, the TNA title. She'll have both.
Nah, she'll drop the NXT title for the TNA title.
Again, I don't know if they want to take a look at Masha. They brought her out
Yeah.
for a spot at the PLE, so like
Yeah.
they weren't just having her sit in the crowd. She actually did a little bit of physicality with Jasmine Nix,
Yeah.
which admittedly didn't look great. But I don't know who to blame for something like that. It was just a fight to the back type of spot. But they didn't just show her sitting there, and that's usually indicative of something that they want to see out of Masha.
Yeah. We'll see. Masha could. I assume Masha will be on NXT television moving forward. It's literally this week. I assume Masha will be on NXT television this week to
sign the contract, Jeremy. Sign the contract.
Probably. Honestly, they probably will do a contract signing.
I don't think they filmed this contract signing because they would have given it away on the TV show. Yeah. So yeah, it's probably a contract signing on Tuesday. Moderwall saying, how does TNA compete nationwide when NXT is expected to sign all the top talent? They're not. They think they will, but they're not. They know their place. They are a firm number 2, Mod Revolve. Firm number 2 for that TNA. Yeah. Gonna go rob a bank, get a deal with WBD.
Yeah, the show that just drew nearly 30,000 people is.
It's okay though. It was a deathmatch main event, and the LA execs were really upset about it. What? I've said it before. I'm not having this conversation.
Fair.
But I will say this. I think both sides of that conversation are true to a point.
Yeah.
LA executives absolutely want to be wined and dined and given an experience that also is commensurate with the time they're spending there. And I think that it does. It means something for the brand or whatever, outside of wrestling, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to pitch. If you're not 100% ready and you're not 100% committed to bringing these people in to give them the experience that you think is A+ level, then they're not going to pay attention. Do I think as a result, a television deal or a partnership is going to fall apart and the company's going to fail? No. Do I think it could be stronger? Yes. Do I think it's currently not strong? No, I think it's quite strong. So I leave it at that. Both sides have absolutely great points and they're honest and it's true, but I just think they're coming at each other because it's social media and they just want to butt heads over the points they're trying to make. Because I think both sides are right about certain things.
Yeah, no comment.
It's fine. That's totally fine. Some people are completely over their head. They have no idea what they're talking about, and it's fine. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But if you're at the show with your kids, stop having conversations on socials. That's the only thing that I can add to this. Don't put the phone down. Put it down. Enjoy time with your kids. They're at the wrestling show. I don't care which wrestling show. It could have been Prestige for all I care. I don't care where you are. Go and enjoy the show with your kid. Don't just take videos of them to post on. I think that part was stupid.
And don't say you're not going to negotiate with the other companies. Like, so you're willingly not negotiating with the second biggest company to try to do better for you. That's so stupid. Like, what a dumb thing to say. It's like an NHL team being like, yeah, we're not going to negotiate with the Boston Bruins. Like, no, you should. You should negotiate with them and see if they come back with an offer, and then you'll get a better offer from the New York Rangers. Like, hey, well, Boston's offering us this much. What are you going to offer us, New York? It's so dumb. So dumb. Look, Mark Briscoe said it ahead of this is ahead of All In. He was talking about 2015. He's like, yeah, WWE made us an offer. We came to ROH. They made us a better offer. We went to WWE. We thought they were going to make a better offer, and they were like, no, this is our offer. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to take the ROH offer then. Imagine if they just took the WWE offer, the initial WWE offer, and didn't even ask ROH, hey, we're just going to WWE. We don't care what you have to offer. They got a better deal for themselves. So stupid. Exactly. Why do you admit you're not going to negotiate with the second biggest company who has proven they will pay more money to your client? They've proven that. They made better offers to Vaquer. They made better offers to Swerve. They made better offers to certain talent.
Here's the difference, though. The money that they're coming with is money that's coming from two places, right? It's coming from the TV deal they have and the ownership that has the company. From the perspective of the agents, yes, we're not giving you as much money, but we're giving you more opportunities. They'll make more money down the line with more opportunities and more doors open. I don't necessarily agree with it. I'm just giving you what the other side of this is.
No, I understand that, but you still ask AEW what their offer is so you can go back and be like, hey, well, AEW, you can still take the WWE offer.
Sure.
Again, Vaquer did that. That's fine. You can still take that offer. But it's stupid not to at least go to AEW and be like, hey, how much are you willing to offer to see if you can get more out of WWE? If they don't want to offer more and you still want to take their offer, fine. Again, your choice. No problem with that. Go where your heart desires. But it's still just dumb not even to listen to the other side and just be like, oh yeah, we're going to take this offer. This is the best we're going to do. Like, no, go to the other side. See what they're going to offer.
I agree. You leverage them against each other for sure. 100%.
That's just...
Someone in the chat.
Smart agenting there.
Yeah. Someone in the chat saying, wouldn't you be pissed as a talent that your agent didn't negotiate all options? Yeah. If I knew, that's the other thing too. That's the conversation between talent and agent. You need to be having those conversations with them. So it's yeah. And again, the conversation about who has leverage and who doesn't, it's just, God, it's bad. It's just silly. Again, it's like I said, this is very funny. It's all this like, the guy's being a shit poster. He's not for me. I see, but again, he's made a couple of points that I'm like, all right, I get it. Like the LA execs thing, he's right. He is objectively right about that. These people can be absolute ego-stroking assholes, expecting the world. He's not wrong about that. Doesn't mean that every other point that he makes from that point on is true, but it certainly gives certain insight into what his side of the argument is. I don't think he's right, but I do think that his points are there. That's all. Yeah. Such a stupid conversation to have on Twitter of all places. Christ's sake. Oh, God. Anyway, just negotiate your options and check the social media of the person you're working with.
Jeez. Oh, I'm screwed when I apply for that Bret Hart running his social media account.
It's over for you, man. Yeah, it's just over for you.
They're going to look at my social media and be like, this Mark.
Oh, it's fine. That's what Mercedes called Toni Storm on Wednesday. Called her a mark.
She did. Yeah, she called her a mark a couple times. I feel
My God. That's what happens when you have creative control. Anyways, are we ready to move on to AEW All In?
Yeah, we should probably talk about AEW All In.
All right, here's 20 minutes on AEW All In.
We're going long today, folks.
We'll go long today, absolutely. So, I mean, we may as well, since we mentioned it, Mercedes Moné, she does lose the match against Toni Storm. I thought this match was really, really fun stuff. The entrances, okay. Prefacing with the Mercedes entrance, I thought the special entrances that they did were all really solid and really well done. I thought they really they hit a lot of different marks for a lot of different people. As kind of cringy as a couple of them were, like Will Ospreay with the ninjas was a little like, but he's doing is, but it's like, but they're doing the Assassin's Creed activation, and
I
get it.
I love that Will Ospreay has no connection to the outside world outside of Assassin's Creed. You can ask Will Ospreay about anything, be like, what are you talking about, bruv? But Assassin's Creed, he'll spend 8 million hours talking to you about Assassin's. He knows nothing else. But do you think they pitch him on something else? Like, hey, Will, we want you to do like a Mortal Kombat gimmick. You know, how you feel? It's like, what's that?
Well, what?
What's this Mortal Kombat? What does that have to do with Assassin's Creed? He only knows Assassin's Creed. It rules.
It's honestly, it's just part of the neurodivergent brain. It's wrestling and Assassin's Creed. That's all you get from Will, and a good dad. So there's that.
I want to interview Will Ospreay and just ask him stuff like gaming related questions, but never bring up Assassin's Creed once, and just see what he has to say. I just want to see if he plays anything else. I love that he's so committed to Assassin's Creed.
And he does love Oasis. That's true. Someone in the chat mentioned that. I want to sit down with him, play Assassin's Creed, and ask him questions that he's never really answered before, and see if Assassin's Creed takes his brain away so much that he answers these questions. So like suddenly you start getting stuff that you never knew about Will Ospreay, and you're like, oh shit, okay, Assassin's Creed is the answer. Play the game, and he's into it.
Do you play the Assassin's Creed, Joel? You ever played it?
I have it. I've played probably one. I played it a little bit, but like I've never really followed through the stories or anything like that.
The one I gotta remember the name. I'm sure. Actually, I know the name. I've played a few of them. Some are better than the others. The one that I remember like distinctly playing, and I not only played this game, I got 100% on this game. I swear this is the first time in my life that I have ever 100% completed a video game. Like I watched like the tutorials of like, oh, you got to go here to do this and blah blah blah. Assassin's Creed Pirates. This game ruled, absolutely ruled. It's the fact that I got 100% on it shows you how deep I was into this game. Like I loved. It was definitely one of the pirates. I don't know if they did made multiple. Was it? They did Black Flag. Is Black Flag also a Pirates game?
Brother, I only remember one thing about Pirates, and it's a movie we don't talk about.
It was Black Flag, not Pirates. Pirates was the spinoff. Apologies.
It was
Black
a movie
Flag
that
was
they released. It was the 2005. It's the largest budget for. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, Black Flag. Yeah, there you go. It was all right. So there you go. Yeah, Black Flag is the Pirates game. That I got 100% on that game. Absolutely ruled. I think everyone agrees that it was like one of the better Assassin's Creed games. So there you go. If you've played Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you'll know what I'm talking about. This game, I should just go back and play it. I got an emulator. I should go back and play it. It's so good.
Shout out to these degenerates in the chat. They got my reference.
I didn't get your reference at all.
Rules. Oh, just rewind it and then Google accordingly. Anyway, yeah, I thought as
was
dorky,
was it a JC?
it was a Pirates.
Yeah,
not JC
I've
Jane.
seen that
Yes.
movie.
Yeah, of course.
Was she not in that movie?
Not JC Jane.
No, not JC Jane.
The other one. Yes.
It's JC something, right?
JC Shazet. I don't remember. Yes, you mean yes. I think so.
The GOAT, Evan Stone's in that movie, right?
That's a movie that you watch the whole of, but you take. That's a bad way to put it. You watch all of it, but you watch it in parts because you gotta take some time away. You gotta build back up to watch more of it.
Evan Stone's a legend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did.
What is her name?
Oh God, it's gonna kill me.
I think Carmen Luvana's in that movie. I'm deep in my bag here.
You're really getting it now. Good God.
Big fan of Carmen Luvana growing up.
Oh man, why do I have to look this up? It's Jesse Jane.
Jesse Jane. There you go. I know it's Jane something.
Yeah, not JC Jane.
Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat knowing who Carmen Luvana is.
Oh God, what is wrong with us? Let us count the ways. Anyway, classic film. It is cinema. It is cinema.
It is, dude. The budget for that thing was insane.
It was $1 million budget. That was the most they've ever made. The most they've ever put in something like that. And there's been a lot of things put in a lot of things.
Yeah, I was just popular in Puerto Rico. That makes sense. She's popular. She was popular in my room in high school too. So.
Oh, true. She was on the second Drowning Pool album. You know why I hated that album? It was a 32-minute album. You don't release an album in 2005 of 32 minutes. Maybe it was 2007. Anyway, it had a couple of songs. That was the one with Step Up. That was a WrestleMania theme for those who don't remember. But there was a couple of tracks on there. But man, that was the first album with when Dave was gone. Dave Williams, who passed away on the tour bus for Drowning Pool, the original guy. Yeah, that was their first album. They brought Ryan Combs in for that one. And Ryan's back with the band. I don't listen to Drowning Pool anymore. Anyway, I grew up. Yeah. Wow. I grew up, bruv. So Will's y'all nasty. Drew, I look at your tweets. Don't you start. I see your tweets. Okay? The amount of times I've wanted to reply to you, be like, down boy. But I just leave it. Leave it alone. Okay? Anyway, leave it alone. You people are awful. Well,
I'm gonna clip this. This is gonna be the clip for today, but it's gonna be based on Will Ospreay and his Assassin's Creed, and people are just not gonna know what hit him when we start talking about Pirates, the greatest film ever made. Get ready to make a Will Ospreay Assassin's Creed thumbnail, Joel. How much Assassin's Creed does Will Ospreay love? People are like, oh boy, we're going to learn something about Will Ospreay. You're going to learn something in this clip, folks. Might not be what you want or you expected, but you're going to learn something in this clip.
You'll learn about sprays, all right. Oh, okay, we're back. We're back.
No, we've never been here.
We never started.
We've never been here.
Man. Anyway, the God damn it. The Will Ospreay entrance, as dorky as it was fun. It was cool. I really love the pyro that they did when they did the Ospreay going corner to corner. That stuff was really, really well done. And another dorky one was the Omega entrance. I thought that was so silly. They had the druids and the one guy. You don't expect a white bearded cowboy type to be singing this like epic Japanese video game style song for the entrance of Kenny Omega. And that was a moment where I was just like, oh, it fits, but it's so wrong. And that was again, they set a big O on fire, big Omega sign on fire, and it was good. It was. I thought that the entrances were really thoughtful in their ways. I thought that having JoJo come out and do Ain't Nobody was really fun. I thought some people were very confused by the fact that she was doing that. They were like, why is she just singing this random song? It's like, if you don't know, then I guess you just don't know. That's okay. It's not for everyone. And then the Young Bucks.
That rules.
It was the most for us entrance because it was so trolly and so stupid.
That ruled. I love
the Taz comment. He was just like the first time someone sailed across the first baseline. Like they're sailing across. They said a line that just cracked me up, but it was fun. It was funny. It was so stupid. Some of those are the best entrances. They're memorable because they're so silly. I
loved all of the entrances. And I love them because it's something we talked about years ago at this point. And it's unfortunate we've been doing this show this long. But I loved all of the entrances because as we talked about years ago, you got to make one show feel like your biggest show. And they told you All In was the biggest show 2 years ago, when they decided to hold it at Wembley Stadium. And they've continued to tell you it's their biggest show by continuing to hold it in the biggest venue that they can. And these entrances add to that. When you have not just one or two people having a big time entrance, like you had across the board a lot of talent having a big time entrance. And everybody in the tag team match had a big entrance. Mercedes and Tony had a big entrance. Like everyone having these bigger entrances makes the show feel bigger. I really felt it in Mercedes' entrance. I was like, oh yeah, this is a star level entrance here, built for a show that you only do once a year. It just adds to the gravitas of things. That's a thing of WrestleMania as well. Like, yeah, you can do bigger entrances at like SummerSlam and things like that. But WrestleMania, multiple people are having big entrances and not just like, oh, here's a special gear or here's more pyro. Like you're going all out with this. It makes the show feel like a bigger deal. And look, wrestling's pageantry, right? It has been for decades. It's been pageantry. And there's pageantry still in AEW. And that's what they brought with All In on top of everything else. But they brought a level of pageantry that you typically don't see from their shows. So I loved all the entrances. Yeah, some of them weren't. The Young Bucks was completely over the top, but it fully worked. People maybe didn't get Ain't Nobody. Fine. It wasn't for you. Just like CM Punk coming out to AFI wasn't for you. You
was
either get it.
Yes. It was a termination.
You get it or you don't. The people who get it got it. Like, great. So I love the big entrances, and I thought it added something more to this show.
Shout out to Mercedes, who comes out without all the title belts because she gave them to the Texas Ranger cheerleaders because she was so tired of handing out those title belts to everyone at the Crunchyroll appearance that she made. She's like, I don't want to carry these things. Damn, I hate this gimmick. So they gave them to the Texas Rangers cheerleaders, and they ended up carrying them for her entrance, which honestly I thought that was fun. She comes out, she's got that huge robe with everyone that she's beaten during her time as the creative control that she is, and she creatively controlled herself to her first loss in AEW to Timeless Toni Storm, which again, something that we've talked about. The Mercedes descent may have been maybe the start of this, but I really enjoyed the match. I thought it was very well paced, very well done. I thought the stuff with Luther was tastefully done, having him get involved helping Tony, and then Mercedes taking him out and taking off the glasses and throwing them out to the crowd. There was like little moments like that really worked, and the finish worked too, man. I love that they did. I don't know how I felt when they did the 3 Storm Zeros in a row, the 3 pile drivers. I call them the Queen's Gambit because that's what Deanna calls them. But the 3 pile drivers in a row and do a kick out spot. I was a little like, why? But I understood. I'm fine with it because the final was the Avalanche. Thought it was solid. I thought it was good. And the match itself was really strong. And now it's the beginning of the descent of Mercedes. But who goes after Tony next? Because we know who has an upcoming title shot. So it could be that. We'll get to the Casino Gauntlet winners in a few minutes. But overall, I thought they did a really wonderful job in their match between Tony and Mercedes.
Oh, it was a great match. Oh, where does it rank as far as Mercedes matches? I don't know. I'm not good at that stuff. I personally like the Hollywood ending a bit more than this. That's just me. But that doesn't take anything away from this overall match. Toni Storm can't help herself when it comes to...
You don't have to tell me. I know the answer is no, she can't.
When it comes to being Toni Storm. She's so great. She's so great that all 4 of Mercedes' lips were clean. Thank you. What a woman Toni Storm is. Just what a woman. She's the best.
That and the cream my panties comment at the post show. That's the one that went around.
She's the absolute best. Oh man, like the match was fantastic though. It was a top tier Tony match, a top tier Mercedes match, and it was the right call for the story that they were going to as well. And that's Mercedes likely on her downfall now, and Tony continuing to be Tony. We'll see when Athena gets her shot. You know, Tony Khan mentioned that he'll give more clarity to that on the television show. So we'll see if it's a set date, if it's a cash-in style. MJF mentioned it's a cash-in style. That doesn't mean that can't be changed. I do, you know what would be kind of okay is Athena's very like more straightforward and would be willing to be like, yeah, all out, I want my shot. And MJF would be like, no, I want to like cash in. Like, I want to hold this thing over people's head. Like, you can mix it up with that. So I do wonder if they go that route. Because Tony mentioned like, oh, let me talk to the holders of the contracts. Again, he's just saying things in these press conferences. I don't think he's holding himself to what he fully says because he says so many things. But I think that would be interesting if they do one style for the women and one style for the men, and just that based on who's holding it. We'll see if that's the way they go. You know, All Out's not next. What, Forbidden Door is next. That's all.
Forbidden Door is next. Yeah.
So, you know, they got time to build something. I see somebody mention Alex Windsor might be next for Forbidden Door. Possible. I don't think you do that match just because it's in the UK. Like, you got to put some real stock with Windsor right now, because to the AEW audience, she's relatively new. Like, and the only time you've seen her before this, she was losing. So you got to like build her up a little bit, and how quickly. I mean, you've got a while until Forbidden Door, but you got to give her like some really established wins. And Tony's a story person, right? Like, Tony's not, hey, let's just do this match to do this match. Like, Tony's a story person. So I don't think you need to, when it comes to like Windsor, how does she fit into the story with Toni Storm? And I'm not sure that it's really there with Toni Storm. in Windsor because Windsor's so new.
I think for Forbidden Door, you can easily just do Siri Kondo as a former, like newly former Stardom champion.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
I can
she's
see that.
been around and she is a legacy talent, and it's a big match that people will get into. You have a month to build up Suri in one spot too in Chicago, where you can get away with it. So I could see them just going to that and having a fantastic matchup between those two. They, debuted her video form on Ring of Honor, and then they debuted her at the actual show. If you don't do that, then maybe Suri's going to go after Athena for the women's championship. You can have Athena get to 1,000 days. Suri wins. I would rather they give it to Billy Starks and just go back around and finish that stupid story and not make Billy look like an idiot. But that's just me. So there are people. They just have to find what the build is going to be for Forbidden Door, because now we're going to be on this strange and wacky time where Forbidden Door has been for so long a show that exists but not fully in canon, because you're bringing in talent from another company that aren't always fully involved week to week. So you want to make it Forbidden Door, but also still be able to tell some stories that kind of play into Forbidden Door. Good example of this is now you have a chance to make the Gabe Kidd with the Death Rider story mean something. What is it? It could be as easy as doing Gabe Kidd and Darby Allin, for Christ's sake, because now Darby's going after Jon Moxley for the downfall of Jon Moxley. Maybe he's going one-on-one with every Death Rider. Gabe Kidd's the New Japan guy that he's going to take down. You could at least tell a story with that. And I'm just throwing out ideas of how you do cross-promotional programming while still maintaining your storylines. So Suri is someone who came in, worked the match in AEW. Now people have a taste. Give them the month of a taste. She gets the title match. At least he gets something.
They're in a different position this year with Forbidden Door as well, because it's not in June. It's not running up against a bunch of their other shows. It's after All In, so you're not even like hurting the All In build because Forbidden Door is kind of in the way. So I'm very interested in how they'll work in Forbidden Door this year compared to past years where they were building towards All In and Forbidden Door was there and they couldn't step on too much or muddy things too much. And here, all right, we're past All In. We can kind of have a proper build to Forbidden Door because All In is done. You've reset a bunch of things coming out of All In. We know Forbidden Door is next. And then after Forbidden Door, you even have a few weeks before All Out. So they got a different style build for Forbidden Door this year. I think it'll probably be the most cohesive Forbidden Door build that they've done. And it might mean kind of like it was last year when, Ospreay got the shot instead of them doing a New Japan versus AEW match. Like it might mean kind of more AEW stuff because New Japan just isn't as strong right now. And a lot of those guys are going to be in the middle of G1, aren't they?
No, they'll be done. We talked about this.
Oh, okay.
G1 will have just finished the week before or 2 weeks before.
So they're coming off G1.
That's another positive. It's another positive is that G1 will have passed. You'll know who the winner is. You'll know who's banged up, who needs time off, who wants to commit. Like you'll have a little more flexibility.
It's a positive, but it also hurts in that the New Japan representatives aren't going to be on AEW TV because they're going to be too busy doing G1 stuff. So
that is true. You're
not going to have. That's why I think like it's going to be a lot more AEW build, and the New Japan people just they're going to come in and just do their match, and that's going to be it. I feel like this is going to be more of an AEW show with a few New Japan, CMLL, Stardom sprinkles in there, more than just like this big super show of AEW versus New Japan.
Yeah, again, the idea of this pay-per-view has commonly been dream matches across companies. You add in a few more companies at this point and you can do it. Oh, you can add in some MLW. I know that they're not necessarily like on par with working the biggest stars of AEW or New Japan, but at least you have more talent to work with if that's the way you want to go. I don't necessarily think they're going to do it, but I am just putting it out there as something that exists. It's a partnership. You do what you want. I don't think so either, but I'm just throwing out like the fact that you could, if you wanted to play nice and go for it. It's someone pointing out like the junior division's free to do stuff. So you could build some of that stuff like the ROH television title or the TNT title. Who's going to be the little wrestler who works Dustin Rhodes for the TNT title at Forbidden Door? I
don't
feel, by
know.
the way, shout out to Adam Cole. The amount of love that he's gotten from everybody in and out of wrestling has been just really fantastic. You know, he's a great guy. You see that he's a great guy. It really sucks to see someone like that go down with any injury, let alone the amount of time he's been missing due to it. They really tried to make it work by all counts, and it just he's had an issue with concussion. Started Saturday, and it was bad enough to keep him off the card started Thursday, kept him off the card for Saturday. They really tried to make it work, but he relinquished the TNT title. They did the 4-way, and surprisingly, they gave the moment to Dustin Rhodes, wins his first TNT title. Crazy.
Best wishes to Adam Cole. That sucked. Tony Khan announced that on Twitter, and then they announced it on the 0 hour. And it's just really unfortunate because he did promotion. He did an interview with Grapsody leading up to this event, so he was promoting it. It seemed like he was going to be there. He wrestled on Thursday, and according to Tony Khan, like, things just weren't great. Basically Friday night, Saturday morning, and you could tell Adam didn't know what the future held. And that's where it's like, oh man, because you just don't know with concussions. Like, he's had to battle back from one of them in the past. He did. Then unfortunately, his ankle shattered. He battled back from that, and now this. Like, it just one of the nicest dudes. And by all accounts, again, I've met him once in passing, just very friendly. Hello, hi, thank you type of thing. But by all accounts of people who have talked to him and who know him, and you saw it with the messages he got from wrestlers from every single company. Like, he's just a genuine. I always go back to CM Punk's All Out speech, where in the middle of burning down everything, he's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I love Adam Cole. He's such a sweetheart. He's just the nicest man in the world. Fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. Like,
it's true.
In the middle of all of that, CM Punk was still like, Adam Cole's the greatest person in the world. So it's clear that Adam Cole is very loved by everyone in wrestling. So it just sucks to see, man. And you think about like where he was supposed to be in this company, and to see him where he is now through stuff that's just like out of his control, just like shit just happens kind of stuff. Like, it's very unfortunate. So yeah, best wishes to Adam Cole. I hope that he takes all the time that he needs and is able to do whatever he needs to do moving forward. If that's wrestling again, great. If it's some type of commentary role, if it's some type of producing role, whatever it is, whatever Adam Cole wants to do, I hope he's just able to do what he wants to do moving forward without any issues.
Special talent. He really is. So they do the 4-way. They do Sammy Guevara, Dustin Rhodes, Kyle Fletcher, and who was the fourth? What did I forget?
Garcia.
Danny Garcia, who hugs Adam Cole and also eats the pin in the match. Sorry, I had a brain fart. At the top of the ramp as he's coming out, Danny Garcia and Adam Cole exchange words. It was very emotional for both men. And they do the 4-way. I felt bad for these guys.
They were in a rough spot.
They were in a rough spot.
The crowd.
Coming off of the Casino Gauntlet match, coming off of Adam Cole having to vacate and tell people that he's going away for a while, a very emotional moment. They were just stuck with like a crowd that was more worried about Adam's future than they were about this title match. It sucks. And so they get through it. The match, I'm not going to tell you the match was great. I'm just going to tell you the match was fine. I think the shock was they worked hard. And then the shock was Dustin Rhodes got the win, did it in Texas. I get it. It's better than just giving it back to Sammy and doing, Sammy Guevara as the TNT champion again. They've done that. We've been there. At least with Dustin, who announced earlier this week or last week that he signed a 6-year contract last year, which was like, huh? But good for him, man. Good for him. He's got the bag, and now he's carrying 3 titles, and now we really have to have the conversation. Who really has creative control in this company? Because Dustin Rhodes ain't making it look good on him. But again, they wanted to give him the moment in Texas. I don't think it really did the job that people thought it would in the crowd. Like, I think they expected the crowd reaction to be bigger than it was. But again,
Really?
tough spot. Yeah, I think they did, because they had the Von Erichs, like the history and the Texas wrestling history was supposed to be there, but it just wasn't. That's all. That's not a downer at anyone. It's just, I think they expected something bigger than what they got.
I disagree. I think they
Okay.
got a huge reaction, and like based on where the crowd was throughout the entirety of that match to how the crowd reacted when Dustin won, I thought they got the very much the desired reaction, because they could have easily just not been happy with this. Like, they could have easily just been like, "What, Dustin? Huh? Why are you putting this title on the 60-year-old?" Like, they could have easily. This was built for Kyle Fletcher to win. I think Kyle Fletcher was going to beat Adam Cole. And it did feel like the crowd was maybe even expecting just a Fletcher victory. And so you're just waiting like, okay, when's Kyle Fletcher going to win this match? And again, like coming off that Adam Cole announcement, they were in such a tough spot with that. I thought this got exactly the desired reaction, because they popped huge for this, and I did not expect them. Like, that's when I was like, okay, you know what? Fine, good call on giving it to Dustin, because the crowd actually reacted huge for that, when they could have easily been like, we thought Kyle Fletcher was going to win, and you gave us Dustin Rhodes. What the hell's wrong with you?
Could have given it to Kyle Fletcher. Can't believe it. No, I understand it. Someone in the chat being like, was his volume turned down? Is his hearing? Yes, my hearing's going. Years of concert going. Although my last hearing test was 100%. So fuck you.
I think they're going to.
It's totally fine. No, I was going to say, like, it's totally fine. Good. I'm glad that you set the record, or at least not set the record straight, but I think that you make a very good point. And I agree with the fact that having Dustin win, given the situation with Adam Cole, it was originally maybe supposed to be Kyle Fletcher, but everything kind of got messed up because of Adam Cole's injury. It was more maybe important or just more impactful to have Dustin Rhodes win and give him the moment. That's fine. I get it. That's why I'm not complaining about Dustin winning the title so much as I'm just pointing out that to me, it didn't sound the way that other people seem to say it was, which is fine. I can be wrong in the moment.
Get your hearing checked.
No, we just went through this. I did.
I know, and I'm telling you to still get it checked.
We just had my kids' hearing check, and it was fine.
Well, that's the problem. All these kids.
It's the children who are wrong.
Yeah.
I have very acute hearing, by the way. By acute, yes, very good hearing.
Okay.
My ears are finely tuned. I'm very in charge of my body.
I think Fletcher's going to end up with this title sooner rather than later. Again, I thought giving it to Dustin was odd when you think about it, as like Dustin Rhodes. Okay, but again, the pop made me just go, you know what? Good call. Good on you. Like, it worked. I think Fletcher, they're doing the Chicago residency. I think Fletcher's going to win it maybe at the end of the residency. Part of me thinks that like Dustin gets a couple title defenses, wants to be a fighting champion, because everyone who holds the TNT title wants to do the open challenge and be a fighting champion. So Dustin gets a couple defenses, and Fletcher, he should straight murder people in the next couple of weeks on AEW television. And then finally you do Fletcher and Dustin, and Fletcher straight murders him as well. Part of me thinks that you build towards Fletcher getting it. Part of me thinks you do it Wednesday and Fletcher just kills him on Wednesday. My whole point on this is, if and when they do Fletcher and Dustin, I would do the Brody and Cody booking on that. I would do a straightforward, just kill him. I don't need no 50-50 nonsense with this. Kyle Fletcher should look like a monster against Dustin Rhodes.
They're all going to cheer Fletcher because he lives in Chicago now too.
Fine.
I don't mind it. Again, I don't mind it. I agree that the Dustin, here's the honest situation too. The TNT title hasn't been important. It hasn't been made to feel important in a while. This is Dustin Rhodes, like, you signed a new contract. We love that you're still here. Here's your gold watch. Go out there. You're also consistent as a performer. You clearly give a shit about the company. Like, it's very much it's not here, damn. It's like, thank you for your service. Let's go tell a story with you in service of next rising talent. That's why I don't think people should be upset about Dustin winning. I think if anything, they should be looking forward to who takes it off of him, because that will be almost a co-signing of someone like Dustin, who's been in the business for so long and so active, getting his opportunity to put a stamp on somebody's career. And if it's Kyle Fletcher in Chicago during the residency, then sure, that's fine. I'm all for it. He'll probably, like you said, have a couple of matches. He'll probably beat Ishii and someone else like Rocky Romero, and then we'll just move on. And then Kyle Fletcher will get a spot. He'll beat Josh Alexander. He'll beat Don Callis guys until Fletcher shows up.
I don't love him beating
Neither
Josh
do I, but
Alexander.
here we are. Well, we're gonna keep doing it because that's just what you do with Josh Alexander right now.
Yeah,
they haven't found a spot for him.
I don't love that. If Dustin beats Kyle Fletcher, then we can have a conversation about this Dustin Rhodes title reign. But for right now, it just feels like he's holding it for Fletcher. He's going to put Fletcher over. And if he beats him in the manner that he should, if they do a 50-50 and Fletcher has to struggle and everything, then I'll be like, all right, should have just put the title on him. If Fletcher looks like the guy that he should look like coming out of this, I think all of this worked. But if they do a 50-50 thing, or if Dustin holds the title for longer, and it's like, all right, don't know if that worked as well as you wanted it to. You're right that, and we talked about it leading up to, the TNT title has been what it's been. I thought Adam Cole would be a good reset for it. Unfortunately, Cole spent more time on commentary than he did in the ring. I thought Kyle Fletcher was going to be a good reset, but they put the title on Dustin. So now you got a chance to do a few things with Dustin in the coming weeks before hopefully getting the belt on Fletcher.
And that's TNT title talk. We put more into that than AEW has in their entire TNT run for the last 6 months.
You can make him getting killed by Kyle Fletcher is not making Dustin Rhodes look weak. We got to stop with squash matches like making people look. Did Cody look weak when he got destroyed by Brody Lee? No one thought like Cody's done for after this. Like,
no, they thought he was done for when he came back with the black hair and was trying to do Superman. That's when they thought it was over.
Yeah, like no one thinks a squash match makes somebody look awful. The follow-up is where is what matters on that. Dustin's he's an ROH guy. He's barely on AEW television before all of this. And when he has been, he's lost all of those matches. So it's not like they were booking him super strong anyway. He's going to still be the 6-man champion and the tag team champion. He's going to have matches on ROH. It's going to be fine. Like, you can kill Dustin Rhodes in a singles match against Kyle Fletcher and it'll be okay.
I think Dustin should win 2 more titles and then challenge Mercedes Moné for the 6th. Be like, you can't be 6 belts, Moné. I want to be 6 belts, Dustin Rhodes. And she's like, that's a terrible name. And she puts up her TBS title and loses. And then he's like, guess who's 6 belts, Dustin Rhodes? And she's like, that's still a terrible name. And that's the downfall of Mercedes Moné. She loses to Dustin Rhodes. That's burial.
Creative control ass Dustin Rhodes over here.
Yeah, you gotta have battle of the creative controllers. It's gonna be Dustin and Mercedes having the battle to find out who really has control. Dustin does the CEO dance. I want to see Dustin Rhodes do the CEO dance. I'm all for that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, speaking of former,
I got what I wanted, by the way. I know we're jumping around here. Tony Storm doing the CEO dance. It was just as good as I imagined it would be.
Did you notice that all weekend they did your favorite tag break?
Oh yeah, I know every single
show. It's every single show this weekend found a way to do it across every company. I was like, the Jeremy break, which is like the FTR break, but every single tag team match did the one, like 2 members run into somebody making the pin. I was just cackling. I was like, doesn't matter where you wrestle, you're all gonna do that stupid spot, aren't you?
I know. I've made this a thing now. Like the fact that I've pointed it out, like I notice it even more now, but now I think other people are noticing it as like, oh yeah, this is happening in this match. Sorry, everybody. But if you're paying attention, it happens every single tag team match, at least big time tag team match. They do that friggin' spot every single one.
It's the best. Sorry, speaking of TNT champions, Adam Copeland returned. Your favorite guy in the whole company.
God.
The tag match, Jet Speed, Hurt Syndicate, and the Patriarchy. The Hurt Syndicate win, which was, I mean, I guess expected in a way. Here's the thing. I'm not going to go into the match because honestly, I didn't care much about the match. There were moments that I liked. I love watching Speedball and Kevin Knight work. I love that. I love watching Nick Wayne have a hell of a weekend where he's working 3 shows in 3 days and like culminating with the moment for himself. I thought this was a great weekend for Nick Wayne. Goes from getting stomped out by Titan from the top rope to then having to do the concerto turn. And I thought that was, again, strong weekend for Nick Wayne. And plus whatever he did, on Thursday night when he was in the 8-man tag. So there's that. But he had a busy few days. All of this was in service of, yes, the Hurt Syndicate win. Can we talk about real quick going back to entrances? You had Smoke Dizza and who was with them?
Yeah, it was West Side Gun.
It was West Side Gun. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was blanked for a second. They come out, they do the Hurt Syndicate theme. I have to give MVP full marks. He did his verse and he made it look so like just chill and so seamless and so cool. I was like, God damn you, MVP.
He was
so calm.
He was cruising on that verse, man. He killed that. Yeah. Jericho is at home just seething. Like, oh, fuck. I'm not the only person who sang the entrance. But then he's like, I'm the only person who wrestled and sang. So, still got that one. He was so mad at him.
So, I thought that was great stuff. I thought the entrance was so cool. And again, these guys, it's so difficult with the Hurt Syndicate because they're bad guys. They're big bad dudes.
Yeah, but they hurt people.
But they do hurt people. And then they come out and they win these matches, and it's like, oh, God damn it, I like them. But they do win the match. They do retain the tag titles, but really it's all in service of FTR, who were out on commentary.
They got their asses beat on commentary too. Dude, Lashley threw I forgot who he threw into both of them, and then he threw Christian into both of them. It threw Christian into both of them, and then he pie-faced Dax, who fell onto Cash, and then they got on the apron, and he shoved Christian into both of them. They got whooped just doing commentary. They got to take lessons from Don Callis. Don Callis is on commentary. He whooped ass while out there. He beat the shit out of the referee.
And he runs away like a little bitch when Kenny Omega does a flip dive.
Don Callis ruled on commentary. FTR on commentary. They got their asses beat, man.
So FTR, they try to play into the finish with, what was it, with the Nick Wayne, what happened there?
No, the finish was they got on the apron, Lashley shoved Christian into them, and then Lashley hit the spear. That was the whole finish.
Yeah, sorry, I had to remember where we got there. So at the end of the segment, there is the standoff, and Nick, it's Nick, Kip Sabian, and Christian's like kind of waving them off. Let's go. They're standing up for FTR, and then everyone beats down Christian. Okay, I get it. It made a little bit of sense at the beginning because you had the FTR get involved throughout the entire match with the Patriarchy. And they set him up for the concerto, and then you hear the song, and then Edge comes out, and everyone's pointed it out, and I know Chad has too. Comes out, the man has to pose. You want to talk about Hogan's? This man had to pose.
I'm going to defend Cope.
How dare you?
This is might be the most shocking thing that's ever happened on this show. I'm going to defend Cope. I don't think he cared to save Christian. That's why he's like, go find yourself. I don't think this was ever about saving Christian. I think this was about getting back at FTR. And if Christian got taken out, fine. Christian got taken out. But this was getting to FTR. And for that, he felt the need he could just pose. Because unless they were going to run away, which they didn't, which maybe they should have, then he could take his sweet ass time. So I will defend Cope in saying that he took his time because he didn't care what happened to Christian. All he cared about was getting to FTR. And he figured it's a 7-on-1 advantage. not quite, 4-on-1 if you just count the wrestlers. But Mama Wayne and Stoke were there as well. So it's a 6-on-1 advantage. He's got Spike, but they ain't going nowhere. They still want to attack me. I can take my time. I can hit my spots. I can get the crowd jazzed a little bit.
Fine. I mean, I think you're right, by the way, because Cope doesn't care. Cope was just like, I don't have to save him. I just have to point out that he's been a little bitch. And that's really all it was. Go find yourself. And now someone will one of them will make the save for the other down the line during this residency. And Cope and Christian will go after the tag titles. There was part of me that was like, do they go after the Hurt Syndicate, or is it going to be FTR beats the Hurt Syndicate somehow to get to FTR versus Cope and Christian?
I don't think the Hurt Syndicate's losing the titles. I don't know if they're going to get the tag team titles. I think they're going to do the FTR match, and then maybe they go into Hurt Syndicate. I don't think FTR's beating Hurt Syndicate, though. Hey, maybe if they do like a 3-way, they somehow get there.
God, just let them get beat. You can beat the Hurt Syndicate. They can get pinned. I swear it's okay. Going back to the Dustin Rhodes is going to be buried if he loses. Like the Hurt Syndicate will be fine. I swear we'll be fine. We can do it. Sometimes wrestlers lose.
Here's what I want for Cope and Christian. Cope says, go find yourself. What if Christian's just like away for, I don't know, 6 months, and when he comes back, he's got the long hair again?
I've been waiting for that.
And that's how he returns. Long-haired Christian. And he's like, why don't you have the long hair? And Cope's like, shit. And then Cope's got to go away for 6 months to grow his hair out. And then we finally get the reunion a year later when they both have long hair. It's going to be a year in the making. They're going to build a whole year before we get the actual Cope and Christian tag team match. That's my long-term booking, everybody.
I mean, I'm fine with it for the sake of like, All Out has already sold a bunch of tickets, and it's not based on the rumor or the plan of Cope or Christian. Like nobody was going into buying All Out tickets being like, oh, I have to see Christian and Cope reunited. No, and people were like, oh, AEW is coming back to Toronto for a pay-per-view. I want to be there. So yeah, we can do that. We can put it off for a year. In fact, don't even do the match in Florida, because those two guys left Canada. They don't care about where they came from. They'll tell you they do. Cope will be like, I love the Maple Leafs. Be like, no, you don't. You're miserable like all the other Leafs fans. I know, I get it.
He does love the Maple Leafs.
He's a miserable old bastard every year. It happens. Fine. Yeah. Enjoy that. Cope's Christian's just like, I pick the team that wins. And it's like, good for you. Good for you, Christian. You've always been the smarter tag team member of the two. I get it. But Cope's back and tells him to go find himself. I kind of hope Christian comes back, wallops Cope with a chair and says, go fuck yourself. And then we just go back to square one.
I'd be fine with that. Christian should be like, I'm not teaming up with you, dude.
You were miserable to me. You made my life hell. I hated it. I was always number 2. I'm not doing this again. I was like, how much time you got left on your contract? Too long to do this shit. That's the way you tell the story. Oh man. Yeah, but otherwise, I don't know what the tag team division looks like for the next few months. I don't know which tag team can go up against the Hurt Syndicate at like Forbidden Door. Is it a CMLL tag team? Is it a New Japan tag team? Like who would make sense for those two? But I guess we'll find out over the next few weeks. Or maybe it is maybe they squash the Outrunners again in 9 minutes. Who knows?
Maybe it's Swerve and Ospreay. Maybe they get a tag team title shot out of this.
Maybe. I mean, they've already made themselves EVPs according to the AEW website.
Yeah, they took that down very quickly.
They did fix that.
Yeah.
They did. Yes. So Swerve and Ospreay do beat the Young Bucks in a match that was really well done. Really
just
fun.
Call it good, Joel. Just be it was a good match.
It's okay. It's a good match. I mean, listen, I'm not Dave Meltzer here. Listen, we already know if the Bucks are involved and Ospreay is involved, you're going to get 5-star minimum. We know this. Now that both are involved in one match, it's going to be a 10-star affair. So what does it matter? Everything's broken. Words don't matter. Just go with whatever. As long as you don't say the match sucked and I hated it, then it's fine. The match was good. The match was a lot of fun. The match had a really good story in it, in that you had the setup of the Bucks being a long-established tag team against two guys who were not a long-established tag team, but eventually figured out their flow and figured out their way and won the match by being a great set of wrestlers who just figured it out. I really liked that story. And I thought the match had a lot of really fun spots. It also went into like Young Bucks spam the finisher territory. And I was like, all right, I get it. It's a Young Bucks match. So like, what am I going to do? It was a great match.
It was good, but not quite on the level of JC Jane and Jordan Grace.
First of all, it's JC Jane and Masha Slamovich. That's the
match. No, I was
using
a match from this weekend. I was using a match from this
weekend.
I knew what I was doing. I said it correctly.
But I gave you the better match of the two.
Fair.
Go ahead.
This is my second favorite match on the show, trailing only the main event. I thought it was an excellent match. They hit all the spots they needed to hit. I don't care if you're mad about the Destroyer and then House Call and Hidden Blade match. Like, everything about this match was perfect to me, except they did the dumb spot that I hate, and I will forever take off points for that one spot. Forever take off points. No match can be a 5-star match if it has the break up the pin spot with let me hold on to you and then shove you into the pin.
There will never be another 5-star match in the tag division.
There won't.
There just won't.
Otherwise, I thought it was a fantastic match. Swerve and Ospreay winning, no problem with it. We talked about before of like, oh, the stipulation makes you believe maybe the Bucks can win. And again, that was the smart point of the stipulation. It got people talking like, oh, maybe the Bucks can win because it's only a year, and how much storytelling can you do with a year? No problem that they decided to go the other direction and take away the EVP titles from the Young Bucks. Like, the EVP stuff was up and down. They did some good stuff with it. They could have done a whole lot more with it. And it did feel like it was hindering the product more at times because it did feel like they could have done more with it, and they just didn't do more with it. So them no longer being EVPs, now maybe they got to go find themselves. Here's my pitch, Joel. Are you ready for this?
I'm always ready for this.
We learn on Wednesday that yes, they are no longer EVPs, but there is still an EVP in AEW because they signed over their EVP rights just in case. And you know who they signed it over to, right?
Oh, do I ever? You bet.
Get ready to ejaculate, folks, because Executive Vice Perry is coming to save AEW, and he's going to jack off all over everybody. Jack Perry, EVP. That's what we're getting, everybody. Just wait. Just wait. Jack Perry's coming back sooner rather than later, and he's going to be the EVP.
You know, we were sitting in the back watching our favorite 2005 movie Pirates, and we decided we need to get a little jack off going on. Let's call back.
Fuck. That was good.
And by the way, Kenny Omega is no longer an EVP, so that story's gone. Oh God, I think you can continue doing the founding father shtick, which I'm sure they will, because like no one can take away the fact that they were founders of the company. So like they can kind of play not tech bro, but like founders is such a tech bro thing these days that you could play off of that. So someone in the chat just said Pirates watch along when. Never.
Oh boy.
Never.
Yeah, we'd get to
not happening
very quickly on here.
A lot of money would be needed to be given to us to even consider the idea. You think puppets for Freddy Got Fingered was enough? No, this is borderline problematic. Anyway, they could do the founding fathers gimmick and still make it make sense. But I also need to see Jack Perry wearing a full founding fathers gimmick like the Young Bucks were, with like the hats and sailing the seven seas. I'd love to see it. Regardless, that is what works for the Bucks right now. Them going away and coming back as like babyface Young Bucks. Yeah, you could do that. I've been saying Bucks taking the titles from Hurt Syndicate felt like a play that they've been wanting to do as well. But the Bucks would have to be the baby faces who kind of eke out the victory because they're going after the David and Goliath team. That's the way that they would have to play it if they did it that way. So for that, I see it. I also would have been fine if they had just won and been obnoxious EVPs who like overstay their welcome like they were starting to do. And then you've had Swerve and Ospreay have to find different ways to, you know, be part of the main show or the main card or the main event without going for a title. And there are ways to do that for 1 year. They gave you enough reason to want to try it. But in the end, they went with the way they went. And I'm sure that it'll all kind of play out in a way that's mostly good. Young Bucks. Sorry, I was gonna say just like Young Bucks follow up isn't always the strongest, and that's why I'm hoping that they actually figure it out. And maybe it is bringing back Jack Perry and doing something with Jungle Jack.
It's the answer is always more Jack Perry. I think Swerve and Ospreay are going to continue to be a team, and I do think like they might challenge the Hurt Syndicate because they are credible challengers to actually beat the Hurt Syndicate. And the way you get there is very simple of like, yeah, it would make sense if like Swerve went after the title and Hangman because he helped Hangman and that's just, they're going to be forever frenemies and everything. It's as simple, honestly, as one, they did good work putting the past aside with Swerve and Hangman. Two, Ospreay just says like, we teamed, we beat the greatest tag team of all time. We have something here. Like, let Hangman just let him be. Like, you know what happened to you the last time you and Hangman went down the road. You don't want to do that again. He doesn't want to do that again. Just let it be. And Swerve, willing to put the past in the past. Okay, you know what? You make good points. We did beat the greatest tag team of all time. Hangman got his. I helped him. I feel good about that. We don't need to go down that road again. That did damage psychologically and physically to both of us. We don't need to go there. Let's do a tag team. It could be as simple as that. And then they're just a tag team. That's what I foresee happening. I could be completely wrong here, but I think that would be good because you got to get somebody to potentially beat the Hurt Syndicate. And if Swerve and Ospreay are about as good as you're going to get because you got two top stars there. And Kenny Omega mentioned this in an interview with Meltzer. By the way, I've referenced this interview before. It's a very good interview, right? Anybody who's listened to this, I think some people in our chat have. When Dave is telling his appendicitis story, it's amazing. This is the most amazing piece of storytelling I've ever heard on a podcast. One, to compare like appendicitis to diverticulitis that Kenny was going through. But when Dave's recalling this story, he's like, oh, I was at like a friend's house and everything. We were playing Trivial Pursuit. I was killing it. And then I got out of pain. That Trivial Pursuit, I was killing it line killed me. Yeah, Dave, you were killing it, Trivial Pursuit. I 100% believe you on this. Go listen to that interview for a multitude of reasons. But go listen to it just for Dave's recalling of appendicitis and how he almost missed his trip to Japan.
I had all the answers. I was having a great job. We were having a really good time playing Trivial Pursuit. Everything was really great. I don't know.
What is this Dave voice? This Dave voice is terrible.
It's actually David Letterman doing
yeah.
It's Jay Leno doing
Yeah, that's who it is. It's definitely Jay Leno. That was
we've
terrible.
gone down this rabbit hole before. We're just having a good time. And then all of a sudden that wasn't feel so good.
That was awful, Joel. Stop that.
Again, you either do it well or you do it terribly. There is no in between.
Anyway, what I was going there is during that interview, Kenny mentioned like just sometimes wanting to do tag team stuff and being okay that even though you're a top star, you can also be in a tag team. Like you don't have to just always be singles guy, main event, having main event level matches. You can do other stuff. And he mentioned like he likes to do that. And that's why I think Kenny and Coda could be a possibility coming out of this, because I do think Kenny maybe wants to get away from some of the singles stuff for a little while. I think Swerve and Ospreay might be okay with that as well. Now we shall see, but that's what I foresee with that. As far as the Bucks go, they continued to be heels in the main event because they were helping. They were helping Jon Moxley. Man, people are gonna be mad if Jack Perry is Hangman Page's first challenger. Not me. I'm going to love it. But man, people are going to be mad if Jack Perry is Hangman Page's first challenger. Let's put that into the universe, everybody.
I want that interview so bad. I want the Jack Perry interview because I don't even care. I'm not even going to ask him about wrestling. I'm like, brother, what were you doing for the last 4 or 5 months? Like,
He's
how did you spend time?
making knives, man.
I know. I want to ask him about the knife making process. I want to, like, were you just walking around LA, just like looking like a bum? Like, what were you up to? Were you driving the bus? Was the bus part of your daily routine? Was there bus maintenance? Was there bus conversion? What kind of bus are you driving? What do you do in that bus? Another 2005 reference to movies that you watched.
He was chilling, man. Let Jack Perry be. Let Jack Perry make knives. This is my prediction, though. Jack Perry is Hangman Page's first challenger. We're gonna put that out there. Everybody.
I'm into it. Let's go. I'm all in on this.
Oh, people are gonna be so mad. I don't care. I think it'd be great.
A quick break for what could be the short. Evil Uno has officially announced Mystery Wrestling is heading to Toronto for the first time ever. He's calling it the World Tour because they've never really left the Ottawa-Gatineau area, but they're going to be Sunday, September 21st, the day after All In, the afternoon at the Rec Room. It's going to be over on the Mystery Wrestling Twitch and YouTube channels, so go check that out. I will personally be there. My plan is to be there. If you've never been to a Mystery Wrestling event, you should absolutely go. Not only for the talent that they bring in, also it's coming after an AEW show, so you know AEW talent will be involved. And on top of that, Mystery Wrestling is just a hell of a time. It's funny, it's serious, it's everything in between, and Uno always brings a really fun show. So go check that out. That's going to be Mystery Wrestling 18 in Toronto, September 21st at the Rec Room.
Okay.
There you go. Was that a minute? Was that long enough? Did I get it?
Mystery Wrestling short? That's where we're going?
I don't know. Well, we're going to do the long form was 2005.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, maybe we'll see if something else pops up that we can.
I do agree with this.
Get into it.
Hottest thing to hit Toronto since the Maple Leafs suck.
Fair.
The Raptors are equally shitty. Oh my god.
The Raptors are, at least they're kind of in the state that they're in. The Maple Leafs are like trying and they just can't do it.
Trying and sucking. That's just the way to go. The Casino Gauntlet. Should we tackle both at the same time?
Sure.
The Women's Casino Gauntlet is won by ROH Women's Champion Athena. The Men's Casino Gauntlet is won by MJF. I don't think on the men's side that was much of a shock. Athena getting the win certainly opens up a few conversations, but I think overall both men's and women's Casino Gauntlets were fine. I think the Casino Gauntlet is a really fun match. I think that when you have someone like MJF who feels like he's going to win and he's the first guy in there, I get a little less invested in everyone else who's involved in the match. And again, that's just me. I think that everyone goes in and wrestles really well and that there's good storytelling within the match. But at the end, I'm waiting for MJF to do what MJF does, which inevitably is steal someone's pin. I like that he inevitably steals the pin from Mark Briscoe on Roddy Strong. I like that they use that as the storytelling device. But yeah, just a long match to get to MJF. On the Athena side, again, a lot of women who were either underserviced or currently working in service of the undercard in AEW, having really good matchups, getting big pops from the crowd. I really like that. The first time that they've run the Casino Gauntlet for the women, I thought that they did a good start to this. Sometimes they just feel like long matches that have a presumed winner. That's the MJF side. On the women's side, Athena getting the win was a nice surprise. Find it hilarious that they have Mina Shirakawa go out on Friday, win the interim TV title for ROH, and then immediately get pinned by the ROH Women's World Champion the next night. Not for a title, but just to me the presumed optics of the two champions being involved in the finish. But otherwise, where do we go from here? And what did you think of those matches?
I have two complaints about the Women's Casino Gauntlet. Number one, series theme killed me. It just felt like feedback going through the speakers.
Fair.
They got to change that. It was very loud too. They got to switch that up. I can't listen to that every single week. I'm going to have to mute my television when she comes out. The second complaint.
Oh, by the way, I heard if you complain to Tony about the music, he will change it on the fly.
Well, depending on what the complaint is.
That's true. Go ahead. Number two.
Second complaint about the Women's Casino Gauntlet. Anna Jay Penelope Ford, Sky Blue, they're just cool being managers for this thing. Like, they couldn't wrestle in this match. I didn't love that. I didn't love that you called attention to them just being managers when this is a women's casino gauntlet where theoretically anybody can enter, and they could have entered this. Like, in kayfabe, why are they happy just being managers and not being part of this match where you earn a women's title shot? The Harley spot made some sense in that, like, it was a return, but I would have done that as Penelope. What I would have done legitimately is Penelope was part of the match, and then Harley does the same spot, and then they brawl to the back. And that's how you get both of them out there for that. Anna and Sky Blue should have just been part of the match, or at least do the bit of, oh, we were next, but you know, the time didn't go. But like, they were just happy being managers. It was a weird in kayfabe thing. Minor complaint, major complaint, I don't know. Take your pick. Those are my 2 complaints about the women's casino gauntlet. Otherwise, I thought it was a great match. I'm happy Athena won. I think it's gonna be known when she gets her title shot. I don't think it's gonna be a cash-in thing. And we'll see if that's the case or not. I think she's got to keep the ROH women's title for, I mean, maybe she loses it. You mentioned it earlier. Maybe she loses it to Siri. Like, we'll see if that's where they decide to go. But yeah, I did really enjoy the women's casino gauntlet. The men's casino gauntlet, I thought it was fine. Like, did I think MJF was going to win? Yes, I predicted MJF. I thought he was going to win. But I wasn't like fully sold on MJF winning. I thought they could have gone a couple different directions. I thought MJF made the most sense for the story and everything, but I thought they could have gone in different direction. I wasn't sitting there and be like, all right, let's just get to the MJF victory and move on. I was invested further than that. I like that he took the pin from Mark Briscoe because, as I said beforehand, you got to do an MJF Mark Briscoe singles match out of this. Do it in Chicago during the residency. Build it up. I mean, it's already been built, but announce it in advance. Be like, hey, this is a show you want to go to because you know you're getting Mark Briscoe and MJF at this show. And I think they will. And I think that finish proves that they will. And I hope I'm right about that.
I think Athena drops that title at Death Before Dishonor because I just looked it up. So she is at day 947 as champion.
Yeah.
Death Before Dishonor is supposed to be 53 days. That is day 1000. That is the day. So I feel like they might just do that and have her drop on the show, which would be a really cool moment. But we'll see. We'll see if they want to go that far. I'm sure someone, Tony, has been looking at the numbers and being like, oh, it's on this day. We got to do it. And it's a big moment, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe that's the beginning of Athena crossing back into AEW and doing that, staying there. Again, Crown Billy. It's just do the stupid match again and just finally get there. Let's finally get there. Move on from there. But yeah, we'll see. People are saying forever. Well, no, maybe not, because you can't complain about not having a
just be forever.
I think Tony hasn't had an opportunity to book a super duper long-term champion, and this is the one place where he can and get away with it as well, because Ring of Honor, for whatever it is how it is, and he can keep the title on one person for as long as he wants. And this has been the project. He can say, 6 years as champion or whatever it's been, 3 years, I guess. She can be that person for Tony, that amazing super multi-year champion when they didn't do that. MJF has held the title for a year type of thing, but no one's done a multi-year reign. So this could be that person. Yeah.
It should just be forever.
Sure. Just have the title tattooed on her.
When I take over ROH for Ring of Hallucinations, even though we're getting rid of all of the titles, I will keep the ROH Women's Championship, and Athena will just continue to hold it. She might never defend it, but she will continue to hold it.
Just retire the women's title and put the pure and TV belts for the women. That's it.
She will be the champion forever.
Okay.
In my ROH.
Well, who's going to be the champion forever between Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega? Because Okada wins this thing. And We talked about it on, well, through the weeks, set your expectations accordingly. This wasn't going to be the 2017-18 Okada Omega super duper classics. It's weird that this match is kind of underserved by people who have been reviewing shows and talking about it compared to, I mean, the main event was the main event and played out incredibly well. We'll talk about that in a minute. But when it comes to the Kenny and Okada match, it was one of those, what do we expect, and hopefully not expect the worst. Okada wins. There's shenanigans from Don Callis family. We don't really know because the clarity isn't really there on what the unified or what the unified title is supposed to be, because at one point they're combining it to make it a world title B, but also Tony is telling people that it's not. And then later on in the night at the press conference, he's saying the Continental Champion won it, so now it's going to be contested under Continental rules. But like, what is this title? I think that kind of messed up some of the story. Plus, Kenny, they wrote off Kenny to do, to have him off TV for a couple of weeks, brought back Ibushi, which was nice. But the general like build for the match beyond Kenny and Okada, oh my God, this is it, got people excited, but I don't think it did quite what it was supposed to do. But it was also up against two really other massive main events. So again, I have a convoluted feeling in my head about what it was, but the match itself, it was good. And it was good for what these guys needed to do. They went out and did a 30-minute match. Can't complain about that. Don Callis was hilarious, reacting to everything Kenny did. And he did well on commentary. But by the end of it, Okada wins, gets the Rainmaker, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. With, again, Don Callis family got involved. But your thoughts on Kenny and Okada?
I thought it was the weakest Kenny and Okada match. That's the first 4 Kenny and Okada matches are the standard bearer when it comes to wrestling matches. I thought it was the weakest of the 4 main events. Maybe that's a little bit more of a hot take. I thought it was a Kenny and Okada AEW match that served the AEW storyline. Feel how you want to feel about that. The story was Don Callis and him using Okada to beat Kenny Omega. So Don Callis getting involved made sense. I do like that Tony offered an explanation in the press conference of why there was no DQ. I thought his whole the referee doesn't know who did it. Like, I think the referee probably know who beat his ass, but all right, sure. His referee decision was final. All right, sure. If you say so. But it was what it was for this. It was not the epic match that I think a lot of people were hoping for. It doesn't mean it was bad or anything. It was still a very good match. It was just the weakest of the series between them. Okada winning makes a lot of sense. I thought Okada was going to win. The title convolution, my theory, my prediction is Okada's going to hold all these titles and then he'll lose in the Continental Classic this year. Like, that'll be that. He'll lose in the Continental Classic and he'll lose the Continental title based off of that. So I don't know if that's going to be right. That's just my prediction on things. Kenny might do tag stuff with Kota Ibushi. That's, again, don't know anything. Another prediction that I think could happen. Very interested in where Okada aligns and what that means with Don Callis family and what that means with the EVPs, because the Bucks mentioned how like they weren't happy. This was in an interview with Renee Paquette. So, it's not canon. It might be canon. Who knows? They mentioned how they didn't love that Okada wanted to be aligned with Don Callis, but they understood and everything. So how does that kind of play into things? Takeshi's going to be off TV for a while doing the G1. So does Callis, big up Okada and be like, this is my guy. Takeshi comes back and I'm like, what the fuck? And then he needs to slap the shit out of Okada and we get babyface Takeshi. Like, that's a possibility. They got some ways to go here. I agree with people saying that it was probably never going to be like the Okada Okada Omega New Japan series. And when we talked about it before, and like how long is this match going to go? I thought it'd be over 30 minutes. I think it was just over 30 minutes. I actually thought it would be a little bit longer. I thought it'd push 45, and I think instead it was just over 30 minutes. It served the AEW story, and that was the point of things. Like, they were going to serve the AEW story. Okada's older, Kenny's older. Kenny's been through a lot of health issues and everything. It wasn't going to be the New Japan epic. I think they wanted it to be as good as they could. I do think they have a better match in them without the interference. And maybe we get that down the line. I wouldn't wait too long on that. But now that the series is effectively tied, maybe we do get one more straightforward match between Kenny and Okada. And that's the match that they give more time to. And that's the match that maybe reaches the New Japan bar.
Can they get there? It's not knocking either of them. It's just, this is different. We're several years later. Kenny has been through the ringer health wise. Is it something that needs to be run back? I understand that the nostalgia is there. I understand that the expectation is there, but also, is it okay to just say it's been better and just leave it? Or do we have to do it again?
Because it's 2-2-1, like, it just feels like they want to do one more match to settle it all.
Sure.
And I think they can get there, because the big complaint of this match was the interference with Don Callis, right? And people just wanted straightforward wrestling match, and you didn't quite get that with this. So you run it back, you say nobody can interfere type of things. Because the work was fantastic in this match. This wasn't like a work issue. This was a layout and structure and story issue. If you make the story, layout, and structure be like one final match to decide who is better, give them 40 minutes, they can get there. The work is there with these two. You just gotta lay it out properly for them to do it. This was not the layout for them to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then they were on a show that had a lot going on. So could you do it again and have it in a standout presentation? Absolutely. Again, I go back to being like, this is Kenny at 40 after having dealt with so much. Can they do it again? And maybe do they need to do it again?
I watched Kenny and Gabe Kidd, and that man was still every
That's
bit
fair.
of Kenny Omega.
That's a fair assessment. I do agree.
And Okada's the one I'm actually more worried about, because Okada's just like, all right, I'll bring it. Like, he brought it for this match. Again, I don't think the work was bad in this match.
It wasn't. And again, the match it was different. The match was different, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, the issue was the issue was more of just layout and structure. You do a different layout, you do a different structure, you tell a different story. You could probably have a much better match, and I think they'll do it. I don't know how long they wait. Again, I wouldn't wait super long, because you just never know with these type of things. But I would do it again. Maybe that's the Wembley match next year. I realize I said don't wait long, and I'm saying a year. But maybe that's the Wembley match here. Like, they could, and if they wait a year on it, hopefully everyone's healthy, hopefully everyone's good to go. I think you do this at Wembley. I think you give it the time it needs. I think you get a match that, again, maybe it doesn't touch the New Japan matches, but that's a near impossible bar to touch. You at least get to a close, you at least surpass this match and get a little bit closer.
Yeah, so we'll see where it plays out and where they do a last match, if they do it. Again, that's going to be, I think the 2-2-1 is a good frame of reference to why they should do it again, and we'll find out as kind of time goes on. But because you also, like you said, you can't wait on it, because you don't know how much longer how much longer that window is going to be open.
Like, they had the match, Kenny mentioned it, of like, I thought I was done, I beat you, I won the series, and then you came back and you attacked the diverticulitis. Again, that was the story. It was a different story for this match, and it wasn't bad. It was still an excellent match. If you talked yourself into saying it was going to reach the New Japan level, then maybe your expectations were too high, and it definitely fell short of that. That doesn't mean it wasn't an excellent match, though.
Yeah. Main event time. Unless there's something we missed. I don't think we missed anything of importance. Of importance.
We bring the boom. What are you talking about?
I mean, we already got the thing. Like we got it on Thursday. We already
brought
got
the boom.
But we got this. Although my favorite was it Trent saying he was gonna beat the father, take the kid, put him on a no sugar diet. I thought that was very funny. Big Justice is growing up, man. This kid is big. This kid and that's not a fat joke, by the way. The kid is like, he's tall. He is becoming a man. It's crazy.
He's gonna be running the AEW here in a few years. Him and Brody Jr. are just gonna fucking destroy all these geeks.
Watch them be they're the next Kenny and Okada. Those two.
I love that Big Justice did a spear, and like that's how you do it, Goldberg.
No. Oh man,
that was a fun little match. Kyle O'Reilly, he's gotta stop out Riz the Riz out here.
That's true. We'll find out. But yeah, Brody Lee was he was on the GCW show, and then he did.
He's a worker, man.
Yeah, man. He worked 2 shows one night. Good for him. 2 shows 2 days, 2 shows one night, whatever it was. Came out swinging. Good for him. All right. Yes. They brought the boom. They won their match, and there was that. Do you have anything to add about this tag match that clearly everyone was clamoring for?
I was clamoring for it.
Well, I know you were. What happened when he told the 27 kids? Did they text all their friends again?
No, they were still sleeping.
Cowards. They kind of actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Samoa Joe got stretchered out. We didn't talk about the trios title match.
I thought that was a good opening match. It was a good, simple 15-minute, 6 guys beating the crap out of each other. And then they did the stretcher angle with Mimosa Joe. So he's got to go do Twisted Metal for the next couple of weeks. So this is them writing him out, I guess. I don't know.
It was also a good bit because it made sense for why they weren't part of the main event, because you would obviously think, oh, the Ops should be out there, but it made sense. Joe was stretchered out. The Ops went with him. Okay, now you get them getting off of the main event, so you could do Ospreay coming out, Swerve coming out, Darby Danielson, as we'll talk about. So yeah, I thought that was a good piece of business in how they wrote Joe off. Now the question becomes, what happens with the trios titles? Because that is obviously the forefront of everything. Mind is the trios titles.
Yeah, everyone's really paying attention to those trios titles. Biggest Jack Perry and the Bucks just need to win them. That's all it is.
Oh hell yeah, that's what we want.
That's what I want.
I said it. Getting all of it.
Said it here. Said it on the Collision post show last week. Put the trios titles on Collision. Put the tag titles on Dynamite. Make those 2 separate for a while, and then cross paths when you need to. Have them flip flop every once in a while when you need to do something fresh. Easy peasy. Just commit to something. Don't just bounce them around and don't pay attention to them. I'd like them to put something into a trios division.
That was their first title defense since winning them, and now
case in point,
the show's just gone. So we'll see what happens. I don't have a whole lot of faith in these trios titles. Maybe somebody else wins them, but since
they're back in Chicago, Tony should sit down, say he feared for his life when Gabe Kidd beat the shit out of Samoa Joe, and as a result, the Ops have been stripped of their title because of what Gabe Kidd did. We're just giving them the titles. We've given it. I don't know. I just want to use a fear for my life.
Stop it.
I got nothing. Anyway, let's talk about the main event for real.
Juice Robinson returned. Clean shaven Juice.
Clean shaven Juice. That's good.
The Guns were back.
Yep, the Guns came back, which was hilarious because they just come out and they're doing suck it taunt, and they got the chair and there's no music. It's just them standing at the top of the ramp and running down.
Who was it? Austin flew down that ramp, man.
Yeah.
I thought he wiped out both members of Gates of Agony, because then they cut away and they missed the chair shot with Colton. But I thought Austin took out all of them. Clean shaven Juice Robinson. It was a sight to see.
Scary.
Yeah, Bo Dallas, people are mentioning that. I was like, yeah, he does look like Bo, like a clean shaven Bo. Like, yeah, like it was.
Wasn't he? Hold on, was he clean shaven when he was in NXT?
Juice?
Yeah. What was his stupid name? Damn it.
Wasn't he Juice Robinson NXT?
No, he had a name.
Oh. Yeah, he was clean shaven. No, he
CJ
had some
Parker.
stubble.
CJ Parker.
CJ Parker.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he had a little stubble and everything.
Yeah, a little stubble.
But
Okay.
after he's gone like wild man beard and everything to
Oh,
see.
yeah. Oh, now you freeze. Good job. This is what happens. We go 2.5 hours, 2:40.
Okay.
Now he's back.
All right. Yeah, he was a little clean shaven, but he had a little stubble and everything. But after he's gone like wild man beard and stuff, now to see like fully clean shaven was like, what the hell's happening here?
Well, he's back. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. There's a trio right there. Yeah. Easy to run with that. You got Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. I assume this is a match for Wednesday, maybe even for Saturday. Like they'll play this 6-man. Why not? Yeah. Do Juice versus Ricochet, and then do the 6-man tag. Do Gates of Agony versus the Guns. If the Guns are back, great. I hope that they actually are back and not just like we put them on TV. Here you go. Now back to go take the 310 to Yuma. I guess I don't know. Yeah, were they from Yuma?
That's what they call their finish.
I know that was the joke because it's based off of the movie. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, can we get to the main event now?
Did we talk about bringing the boom?
We did. Unfortunately, we did. Right. Yes, we got there. Did they?
What about the Outrunners dressed like Newports?
Someone did mention someone needs to dress like cool cigarettes the next time they face the Outrunners. So stupid.
Yeah, the Outrunners were Newports out there.
Bless Good for them. Yeah. I don't know, man. Sure, the undercard was the undercard.
Did we talk about Sammy and Dustin wrestling twice?
Good for them.
Wrestled twice on the show.
Good for them. Nick Wayne, he also wrestled 3 times. For those who missed that conversation,
3 times in 3 days.
3 days. Yep. Yeah, great. Yeah. Takeshita and Bandito had a really great match on Ring of Honor the night before.
I don't want to talk about
Supercard. It's been a long ass show. Supercard was good. Shout out to Blake Christian. You deserve a world title match. You should dethrone Bandito. Do it in Philly. Do it at do it at Death Before Dishonor. Have a match without honor with Bandito. Beat the shit out of him.
Okay.
Pull out vanilla ice cream cones and just beat the shit out of Bandito.
All right, I'm for Blake Christian winning the title. Obviously, Bandito and Takeshita. Second best match of the weekend for me.
That's fair. That was an excellent match. That was a really well done match.
Yeah, second best of the weekend for him. Definitely set the bar going into All In, and I think only one match surpassed it for a multitude of reasons. And that was obviously Big Boom winning in the 0 hour.
Yeah, that was the moment. Let's just do this. Let's just wrap up the show now and not talk about the main event. Really mess people up. That's it. And then don't even draw attention to it until like a month from now. Do like Forbidden Door. They'll be like, Hangman Page wins the title. Hangman Adam Page wins the AEW World Championship, beats Jon Moxley in a Texas death match. Jon Moxley should have retained, but unfortunately it was Hangman's time. Shout out to Hangman Page at the very end of the match being like, I gotta get this stupid key. He's crying at the end of the match, right? He's very emotional. Commentary's pointing out, he's won this title and it's been in this briefcase and he really wants to see the title because he really missed it. Back of my mind, I'm like, he's crying because he can't get the damn thing open, and it's the one thing he has to do at this point in the match is open up the damn briefcase. He's like, somebody help me, please. He's like a toddler, which I get it because my kid would do the same thing. I can't open up the briefcase, Daddy. Anyway, outstanding match. This was so much fun because it was almost everything we expected it to be. Really, the only notable omission was Sting, but instead, coming down from the rafters, I think a lot of people wanted to see Sting, but you didn't see him. He was at StarCast. Sting was, so you saw him there with his long ass beard that I photoshopped on Adrian Hernandez. Shout out to him. So, no, a great match with a lot of silliness, which we expected. A lot of people coming out and getting bloodied and getting beaten down. And in the end, Hangman overcomes it with the help of friendship and perseverance and overcoming the odds. It was emotional.
I didn't think you needed Sting. Sting wouldn't have made sense outside of he's Sting, which cool. Look, I'm the biggest Sting fan on this show. I'm all for more Sting. I didn't think he was necessary in this match, and I was okay with no Sting. I didn't expect Sting. We got Danielson, who I partially expected. We got Darby, again, partially expected. Will and Ospreay were the big expectations here, and we got them as well. They took out Will. Very curious of where we're very curious of what happens to Will now, because he and Joe got taken out. So, maybe Swerve is just going to feud with the Death Riders on his own until Will is able to come back. Maybe Swerve and Darby get a line. They got options. They got options on this. But obviously the big story, Hangman Page winning the title. And I thought this was the best match of the weekend. This might be my match of the year. I'd have to, I'm not good at that stuff. But as far as like hitting all the notes you need to hit on top of just excellent work, it's going to be tough to beat this match, because it did hit every single note, and the work was also excellent on top of it. They stuck the landing on this. Hangman needed to win, and in the fashion that he won made all the sense in the world. I love Moxley's tap out. We talked about in the build up of Moxley being more cowardly, and was that the right story from where the story started? And in this case, it worked. Again, was it the right story from where it started? Maybe not, but we know the character he was playing leading up to this. And so him tapping out in that manner instead of passing out and going out on his shield, this worked better than that. Delayed Grass asking, does the ending redeem the Moxley run in the end? Does it redeem the whole thing? No. But did it have a satisfying conclusion? Yes. I thought this stuff past Cope was good. I thought the Swerve stuff was good. I thought the Hangman stuff was excellent. So that worked. But does it redeem the whole thing of where it started and what the goal was when it started? I don't think so fully. But it does make it look better as far as, okay, it was worth it. We got there in the end. But that's a testament to the work Hangman and Moxley did at the end of everything. Not necessarily a testament to the booking from start to finish. So that's really where I'm at on this. But Hangman winning, again, perfect. I loved the Darby video from Everest, and it's like, oh, Darby's gonna, and then Danielson shows up in the Blue Panther mat, like, hell yeah.
That he was wearing earlier that day. Oh no, sorry. It was Mookie had posted the photo of Blue Panther in his mask, and then said, I'm pretty sure that's the same mask that he was wearing earlier, that he may have given it to Brian. You're right.
Obviously, anytime Bryan Danielson shows up, I'm going to be happy with that, because that's the GOAT right there. It was good to see him back. It was good to see him. It made sense for him to be there. Obviously, this whole thing started with the turn on Danielson and Moxley taking the title from Danielson. And then Darby coming down. Thank God there was a roof there. The wrestlers would have been way too blown up and sweaty, but there's a roof. Thank God there's a roof on that. Darby coming down. They've nailed his landing, by the way, on the apron. Like, they had that very well positioned.
Well, he had time to practice.
Yeah. And then he does the dive to the outside. Like, all that was really good. And, Darby in the video, like, I'm coming to take everything from you, Moxley. We talked about this story felt like it was built for Darby to take the title, because, and this is not, people are like, well, people just assumed it was built for Darby. It's like, yeah, we assume this because look what happened on the television show.
He literally took his title match from him.
Yeah. Moxley took his title match. Darby did the crash at Full Gear. Darby's the one during the Continental Classic trying to tell Ospreay, like, hey, we got to go after the Death Riders. And Ospreay's like, I'm focused on the Continental Classic, bruv. Darby was involved from this from literally the very start of everything. So yeah, it did look like this story was built for Darby. He decided to go climb Mount Everest. No problem with that. They pivoted into a great direction with Hangman, and I think Darby's saying, like, yeah, I don't need this world title to be validated. Be like, oh, okay, then maybe Darby doesn't win this world title. Because in the end, to him, it's not really about the world title. He just wants to fuck up Jon Moxley. Cool. More power to you, Darby. And that's what he did. He helped take this from Jon Moxley. He helped take the world title from Jon Moxley and help Hangman win. I thought everything was just excellent here. Mox is a fucking madman, by the way.
Don't have to tell anyone that twice.
That man got stabbed like 2 minutes into this match. He's like, there ain't been no blood on this show. We got to do something completely different because people just sat through fantastic match after fantastic match after fantastic match. You know what we're going to do? Here's this fork. Stab me in the damn head with this 2 minutes in and let's get the party going. Just bless Jon Moxley. Absolutely bless. Again, the beginning of this reign, not my favorite thing in the world. Some of the storytelling got a little convoluted in there and maybe didn't make sense start to finish. One thing I will never take away from Jon Moxley is he's putting his all into this shit. He ain't half-assing nothing. He's going out there to make you look like $1,000,000, and he's going out there to get over what he needs to get over. Again, does it always work? Maybe not. But he ain't going out there to just be like, all right, this is what, okay, cool. He's going out there to make sure that he can do the best he can do with what he's given. And if he's allowed creative control, he can do things like getting stabbed in the head with a fork. Bless Jon Moxley. And Hangman's Hangman, dude. He's been the guy. He's always been the guy. The pop he got when he came out, it's like, yep, that's the guy.
Bring back the old music. And I like commentary pointing out, he went on this big journey, and that's why he brought back the old music, because he's back, baby. Was it Hangman? There was one entrance where it was so emotional, and he was getting his point off, and he got cut off at the last word to like a giant pyro display, and all of a sudden he couldn't go back to it. This was Excalibur trying to explain somebody, and then all of a sudden he's like being really good and measured, and it's really a great story point, and all of a sudden boom 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 boom, and it's just like, well, there goes that thought. I forget who it was, but it may have actually been Hangman. That was a moment though, and I like the commentary spent the time to explain that's why he has the music that he doesn't normally have anymore.
And he came out the babyface tunnel when the camera was facing the heel tunnel and everything. Like,
I thought they'd screwed up, and then I came back to think, I was like, oh wait, no, this makes sense. I get it. Like that. Yeah, go ahead.
It was, again, start to finish, from entrance on down to Hangman taking the title out of the briefcase, which also got a huge pop. Like, it was so good. It was excellent. It was, again, my match of the year, putting everything into count here. And it's going to be tough to top, because it's going to be tough to have a story as good as the Hangman Page story. And Hangman's always been the main character. Everyone has said it. Not only has he always been the main character, he's just always been a guy that has delivered on everything and has gotten you behind on everything. Like, that's been Hangman Page from start to finish. You've been able to connect with him in one way or another. Maybe you don't agree with everything he did, burning down Swerve Strickland's house, but what he's done has made sense for him, and it's made sense for whatever the story is, and it's made sense in a way of like, you know what? All right, I get that. Maybe I don't agree with it. Maybe I don't like it, but I get it. There's always been logic for the most part with Hangman Page. And there's been exceptions. I'm sure it's wrestling. It's been 5 years. I'm sure if I really wanted to nitpick on certain details, they've been there. But Hangman's always been the guy you've been able to connect with. And man, he rules. He absolutely rules. And they did what they needed to do. Sometimes the best solution is just do what you need to do. Do the obvious thing. The obvious thing was Hangman Page winning. Don't overcomplicate it. They didn't do that. They were like, yep, Hangman winning makes sense. That's the most logical conclusion. That's a conclusion we're going to give you.
And they tied up a lot of loose ends for the story. They gave everyone a comeuppance. someone had pointed out the Prince Nana spot with Marina Shafir.
That was good.
All of a sudden, Marina goes to get the briefcase, and she's suddenly been handcuffed to the barricade. And she's like, what the hell is this? And Nana's just there, and the pop was big. And I thought little stuff like that really added to, again, theatrics is a really good way to put it. The theatrics of the match to make it more emotional and give you that special feeling. The Bucks come out to kind of, take away, to add to the heat and basically take away the hope spot. And that was a moment where people were like, oh shit, this actually could happen. Hangman could actually lose this match. And I thought, again, the movement was good. The timing was good. The people getting involved in the right spots was good. And that's hard to do, by the way, in a baseball-ass stadium, because it's not like an arena where the run to the ring is a lot shorter. You actually have to go like up, around, and down. Like it's a more difficult. The timing is more difficult because you have more area to cover. So I think they all played it out really well, and it all culminates with Swerve coming out and taking out the Bucks and then giving the chain to Hangman to finish off Moxley. This was the story it was supposed to be on the world title side of the Death Rider story. They did it right. They did it well. Wednesday is going to be a big moment of catharsis for a big promo from Hangman. Let me finish.
Hangman's gotta open. Do not go to a match type of thing. Like, you gotta open the show with Hangman Page. Make this feel important.
I agree. That should absolutely be the open of the show. And by the end of it, you had Hangman celebrating, and the crowd was going nuts. And you had Moxley looking not only full blood mask, but also just being upset in defeat. And now he has no one to blame but himself and literally everyone who stepped in to stop him for the things he did. The Darby thing, I thought it was very funny. Some people were like, oh, I didn't expect to see a Darby from the top of Everest promo. I'm like, motherfucker, I've been saying for 3 months, not literally, but enough time, I've been saying since this started that this is going to be, he's going to do a promo from the top of Everest. I didn't think it was going to be the actual like full-on cinematic display. No, I thought he was going to take a damn video from the top of the world and say whatever he said to Moxley. Right, going to take everything from you. Him coming down from the rafters was so funny to me because I'm like, are we supposed to think that he's on the top of Everest? Are we supposed to think that Everest is actually in Texas and he's at the top of the mountain, which is on top of the stadium? It was just one of those weird, like, why is he coming down from the top of the stadium? He could just come down the ramp. He did it. He did the thing. He climbed the thing. Don't complicate it. Don't come down the rafters. I get it. You're paying homage to Sting. You are now Sting. I get it. It was just a moment where I was like, it was cool. It was fine. It was just in that moment, I'm like, wait, where is he though? Was he on the mountain? Was he on top of the baseball stadium all along? Where are we right now? It was very funny.
He's just chilling on the top of the roof, just
hanging
the
out.
Whole show. Yeah,
the whole show just on top of the roof. I think he should have done a live stream. It's been like, guys, what's up, Darby? I'm at the top of a unknown baseball stadium. Maybe I'll be there.
Him coming down the rafters made sense. Even forgetting the Everest thing, like just doing that. And I thought the setup to this was so good, where Darby does the Everest promo, and then so the attention's on that, and then Danielson slides in, and then Darby comes down. One thing I did love is like they didn't do the theme song for everybody, because that would have been an easy thing that could have been done, and you would have got the pop off of the theme song, but it just felt way more organic that it was people coming out at the times that they were coming out, especially the Darby and Danielson stuff. And they really could have hit it with Swerve. Like, the pop Swerve would have gotten in that main event if the Who's House hit, like, it might have rivaled Hangman winning. But instead, Swerve just, like, coming down, like, I thought it was just much better that they didn't do the theme song parade with this whole thing. I thought the flow made it seem that much better with everything. Here's my complaint about this match, Joel. I do have a complaint. Yes, because even the most perfect matches, I'm going to complain about.
Good, you should. It was too long. I get it.
How come no one checked on Marina Shafir after she went through the table?
Didn't have to. She was the worst of everyone. She deserved it. People should have been chanting, "You deserve."
No. But the Death Riders didn't even check. They came out there and they're just circling around the ring. Marina's just laid out in the fallen table, and they did not care one bit about Marina Shafir.
Collateral damage. It's like robbing a bank. One guy gets popped, you just run away. You don't want to get caught. That was all it was.
No, you bring them to the van, and then you're like, come on, you can still make it. It's okay. Come on. I've seen Point Break. I know how this works. Come on, you can still. That's my only gangster movie.
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's a gangster movie. It's my only bank rob movie. Like, come on, you can still make it. It's okay. Like, it's all right. You can make it. You can make it. They didn't care at all. Gabe Kidd's just circling the ring. Claudio's just circling the ring. They're like, all right, Mox, what do you want? You want the chair? You want the table? Okay, here you go. They didn't care at all about Marina. That should be the opening to Dynamite, actually, is Jon Moxley lining everybody up and be like, not one of you did what you needed to do on Saturday. Every single one of you failed on Saturday. You disappointed me. You had one mission, one goal, one order, and you couldn't carry it out. Protect Marina Shafir. And you fucking failed. And not only did you not protect her, you didn't check on her after she went through the table. All of you should be disappointed in yourselves. You should not be able to look yourself in the mirror right now after this display that we saw on Saturday. Get out of my face. And then we never see the Death Riders again. They're just done because Moxley has completely chastised them for not checking on Marina Shafir. That's my one complaint about this match.
I think it'd be funnier if they're like, what do we do about Marina? Marina's down. What do we do? She's Roddy's problem now. And then they all just run away.
Roddy should just stand there with the Death Riders, like getting chastised. Like, no mention of it. He's just in the white t-shirt. No there. Mention of why Roddy's there.
He's the stand-in for the...
He's just chilling, getting yelled at by Jon Moxley.
Why is he here? Marina had mom duty.
No, that you don't even reference him.
No,
he's just standing there, and people are like, was that Roddy with the Death Riders? I'm like, well, yeah, it makes sense. He didn't check on Marina either. He didn't have friends. Adam is unfortunately out. Kyle's part of the conglomeration now. Roddy's just chilling. So, yeah, that's how Wednesday should open.
Kyle went on an extended Costco run. Is that Roddy Strong? I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, man. Anyway, that's all in Texas. You know why I love the show? Because I didn't watch it live. And when I did watch it, I watched it at 2x speed, so it wasn't nearly as long for me.
2x speed? How do you watch wrestling matches in 2x speed?
Happily.
Really?
Very happily. Oh, I used to do that with TNA. When I did the TNA reviews, like when they were on YouTube, I could start the show an hour in and catch up by the main event, watching it 2x. It's the best.
I can't do it. I've tried. And I just... It takes me out. One, I don't love watching wrestling replays anyway, just because I'm typically spoiled by that point, and so when I know what's going to happen, it just kind of takes me out of things a little bit. Obviously, if I'm covering a show, I'm covering a show. But 2x speed, like, yeah, I watched Great American Bash yesterday, and I didn't have that at 2x. I can't do it 2x speed. Like, I feel like I miss too many things. I feel like I'm not fully there with things. I feel like it gives me a reason.
I feel like I missed something. That's the other thing. I will go back and just rewatch. And I did that a few times.
All right. Yeah. I can't do 2x speed on wrestling matches. More power to you.
Doesn't explain shit. Everyone consumes media differently. Get over yourselves.
I think it explains everything.
It explains nothing. Explains nothing. We went through the whole show. And you know what it explains? It explains that wrestling's better when you watch it at 2x speed. That's what it explains. Netflix, give me 2x options. That way I can watch shows like The Great American Bash much faster. And I won't have to skip out.
Can you not do it on Netflix?
Don't think you can, or at least not on live feed. I haven't tried with Netflix. I'll do it after. After today. Anyway, speaking of Netflix, tonight's Monday Night Raw is at the Birmingham, Alabama Legacy Arena at the BJCC. It's not a Jewish community center. It is the Birmingham something. I forgot. Anyway, the only thing that's been announced officially...
Birmingham Jewish Community Center.
Is it actually? No, it's not. Stop it. What is the BJCC in Birmingham? Birmingham. Let's take a look real quick. The Birmingham Jefferson Convention Complex, not to be confused with the Birmingham JCC. I don't think there are many Jews in Birmingham, Alabama, but who knows?
The
Anyway.
Blowjob Convention Center.
No, we've done it really well. The 4-speed is what I do podcast for, Zeno Hour. That's actually 2.2
I do podcast speed. Yeah, I do podcast speed at least 2. At least.
What's funny is that the day that I sent you that clip about running accounts, I slowed it down just to send to you, knowing that I didn't need to. But then I was like, this is the first time I've listened to their voices at 1 speed, and they sound drunk. Weird.
That always trips me out. Like when I'm listening to certain podcasts at just like regular speed, because it's live or it's live. I'm like, why aren't they speaking faster? Is this how they normally talk? Is it always this slow? And I guess it is. Yep. I'm so used to listening to everything on such a higher speed that like normal speaking when I listen to podcasts just trips me out.
Well, the only thing announced for tonight in Birmingham is the gauntlet match to face Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Penta, and Braun Breaker. The last time they ran a gauntlet match like that, it was like 50 minutes, and that was Seth Rollins, one of his best performances. So tonight, who's going to run the gauntlet? Who's going to win the number one contendership? And why is it Jey Uso?
It's not going to be Jey Uso.
I love that people have already gotten there.
It's not going to be Jey Uso. It feels like Punk is going to win.
But Punk losing another world title match, 2 shows in a row. Not 2 shows in a row, but
Who says he's losing to Gunther?
I mean,
I'm not convinced he's losing to Gunther.
Ooh, that's an idea. Okay. He beats Gunther. How does he do it?
Yeah.
Anaconda Vice?
I can get him up for the go to sleep.
Oh, I'm sure he could, but it's more fun with the
big dude.
Gunther doing the sleeper and then do the Anaconda Vice. It's a battle of submissions. Make it an MMA fight.
I think Punk wins. I think Punk wins the gauntlet, and it wouldn't shock me if he wins the world title. We thought maybe Heist of Century Part 2 with Seth. 1, Naomi just kind of did that last night, so I don't think they wanted to go back to that. 2, now that Seth is hurt, where does that leave him with potentially cashing in? He's got up to a year. He's got until the next Money in the Bank, which was early June. So theoretically, even if he's out 6 months, he can still have the briefcase. I hope Seth's not out that long, but even if he is out that long, he can still have the briefcase. So we'll see with what's going on with the Seth. Maybe he just gives the briefcase to Braun. Maybe he just gives it to Roman, because I do think Seth and Roman may have been the SummerSlam match. Now that it might be out the window.
Yeah.
Maybe he gives it to just Heyman. I think Becky should take the group, and I think that Becky should just hold the briefcase until maybe Seth comes back. So that's that. Grace, it doesn't matter if Money in the Bank is towards the end of August. It's 1 year. It's not like Money in the Bank to Money in the Bank.
It's 1 year from when you won your year.
Yeah, so it's early June is when he has to cash in by. Again, if he's out 6-8 months, he can still have the briefcase. But there's other options you can do with it, and that would probably still be just leaving it in Heyman's. What if he just gives it to Heyman, and Heyman decides who and when can cash it in? Maybe Heyman's cashing it in.
I think that's what you need to do. I think you need to do Paul Heyman is like, I am now the number one contender for the WWE Championship.
He should go cash it in on Hangman. That would be great, actually.
He should. He crosses over and is just like, you're stupid. That's the one. He beats Dustin Rhodes for the TNT title. Amazing. We'll see what happens. Again, the gauntlet has definitely created some questions. I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility that it's Punk and they have a great match and maybe Punk does win, but we'll see where it plays out. Someone in the chat mentioning the John Pollock video. John is wondering whether this is a real injury or not. He seems to have some reasons to believe it's not. We'll see. Again, Fightful Select, we did report that the injury has been reported as legitimate. Who knows if this is an attempt to do a big ol', hey, do you like the show? You enjoy the show? If this is one of those, I hope it's not. But I don't want to be like, I hope an injury is legitimate, but I hope they're not trying to work everybody is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. If Roman's coming back for SummerSlam, you better do that return tonight.
Yeah.
Because you ain't got too many weeks here. I don't know if Roman's showing up every week in the first place. So whatever he's doing at SummerSlam, you got to set the table for that.
I was filming for this movie and I saw this happen and now I'm back.
I saw SB3. I saw SB3 mention he comes back, cost Braun tonight. Like that would make some sense. Again, if you're gonna do something with Roman, you should probably get on that.
I see the Fightful Espanol just posted our Blake Christian conversation, the Axiom stuff.
That thing got picked up everywhere.
Did it actually? I haven't seen it because we didn't put it in we haven't put it out on our stuff.
I ran it this morning.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, that's why it got picked up everywhere.
Okay, well, geez.
That's the funny part about it is, Russell Pierce did a engagement tweet on it. I've seen a bunch of other aggregating sites.
Tag me, bunch of cowards.
They did tag you.
I can't see that shit because I'm locked down.
Joel, you're just having a rough one here. 3 hours.
Where is this? I gotta find it. Hold on.
You're having a rough one.
Oh yeah, they did tag me. God damn,
they tagged you. That thing's got 3,000 likes. Give me some of your money, Russell Pierce.
Give us your 28 cents. I turned off. Sorry, people should know. On Twitter, I've turned off like all of my notifications, like everything. On lockdown, I've turned off notifications. I have my DMs open with notifications on. That's it. So
I just tweeted Russell Pierce. Let me get a cut of the profits from this tweet.
Get your 28 cents.
Yeah. No, they tagged.
Yeah, shout out to the engagement accounts who do it right. Russell Pierce is one of them. I will not take that away from them. I was wrong. I didn't see it. So
everybody ran it. So this is what I was gonna say. Is the funny part about this is like the Blake Christian interview happened last Wednesday. 2, it went up as its own interview on like Thursday. I think I posted it. Maybe even Wednesday. Maybe I posted that like very quickly. And in the headline of the interview, it says Blake Christian talks being Axiom, like almost being Axiom. That's in the headline of the interview. So literally any website could have listened to this interview and gotten that news bit for themselves since Wednesday, and they didn't, which fine. But I held off on the story because I got to run obviously the Vanilla Baby thing because that was the only important headline, and I ran him wanting to win the ROH title in Philly because Supercard was Friday, so I wanted to run that. I was like, I'll just run the Axiom thing on Monday because Monday morning will be a little bit down after all the events on the weekend. So shout out to all the people picking it up now and going from there. I got stuff from Frat House to run. Tomorrow, we're going to run the Hammerstone interview SB3 and I did. There's good stuff from that, talking MJF's MLW appearance and some him playing Jack George Washington and stuff. There's some really good stuff from the Hammerstone interview to run. I got to run Diego. Fuck. And I got so much work to do, Joel. That's all I do is work. Work.
Remember when that was the song of the summer?
Yeah, it's still a good song. Still kind of rules. Yeah.
So funny. Oh man, you know what? It's okay. That's why we'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, and SB3 will be here with Jeremy, talking about probably rehashing a lot of the All In stuff. And I'm sure SB3 is going to want to yell at me for things he was saying in the chat about whatever. It's an unoriginal thought. I was like, buddy, I didn't listen to your stuff. I just talk. I'm just here to.
I don't think Joel presents any of his ideas as an original thought.
You son of a bitch. Let me be a host. God damn.
My ideas are all original because I'm coming up with stuff that literally no one else in the world is going to think of.
Well, don't worry. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, I know. I'm fine with that.
I'm a storyteller. God damn.
I think this is the longest ITW episode. Easily. I would imagine it has to be.
I don't think we've done a 3-hour before, and never again shall we.
Well, until we do the 24-hour show.
So you do the 24-hour stream. Anything to plug?
You'll be on that. It's not like you won't be around for that.
It's fine. Yeah, exactly. Like he's saying, he's gonna yell at everyone about Omega and Okada. If it's New Japan build, he's gonna yell at you for it.
Oh wait, this has to surpass 3 hours and 17 minutes. Why? Is
Oh,
that
the
is that our
longest
longest
one?
episode?
You
Oh, we
did
gotta break it
multiple
now.
3-hour shows?
Oh, really?
I don't want to do. Will Grapsody go longer? Does the Pope
Yes.
poop in the woods? Come on,
Yeah, Grapsody will 100% go longer than us.
easily. I'd do 4 more minutes in this fucking show.
They're gonna spend Grapsody's gonna spend an hour just on the Clips album, so before they get into the wrestling.
That is an accurate depiction of fact. Give us your money and we'll go with the extra 7 minutes. How about that? Oh God, some people have things to do today. Not me.
You don't have anything.
I just said it's not me.
Yeah, I do have.
I got to cook dinner, but other than that, I'm just I can finally take a breather for the next few days, for the next day.
I don't know what's
going on. I got to deal with Slammiversary on Sunday.
That's going to be a post show for that.
Of course we are. It's a pay-per-view.
Allegedly.
On a Sunday night. I hate that shit.
I prefer it over the Saturday.
Wait,
prefer it.
Was I here for this? I don't think
I don't remember if you were.
I don't think I was here for that, because I haven't seen Ace Shad in a while. Normally the bot just kind of shows up. Bleep bloop. I haven't seen Ace Shock in a long time.
Maybe he's got some other stuff to do. Let him.
Maybe he realized that wrestling sucks.
Fair.
Which I would too. I get it.
That's fair.
No, every podcast does not go 8 hours. Like I said, 50% of the elapsed time of the show is what you would do for a post show. If the show was 2 hours, you do a 1 hour maximum post show. Okay, that's how it works. I should probably check and see if Ace got unblocked.
Yeah, we should make sure Ace. I thought he did get unblocked. I thought he got blocked, but then unblocked.
Well, I got to go back and check. I have unblocked people on this channel before.
I remember I was confused that I blocked somebody one time, and then I had to like look and figure it all out.
Yeah,
that was.
Then you called for me to help, but then I was busy with other stuff. So I got to run back to my computer to do this. Yeah, I remember that. Let's find out. You know, I haven't seen Ace in our chat in a long time, so hopefully they're okay.
Maybe they got a life.
Wow, nobody really has a life. Here we go. These are keywords. Permissions, community moderation.
Joel, you do that. No one wants to listen to you talk. Here's what we're going to do while Joel figures this out.
Yeah, no, we've unblocked them. It's fine.
Okay. That song played at the pool yesterday.
Of course.
The DJ at the pool, I think I mentioned this before, is like, they sometimes they play like, oh, okay, you know, it's a lot of kids, so they play like pop songs that you know and everything, but then they'll hit you with like, they played Frontin' by Pharrell, they played All of the Lights by Kanye, they played In the Club by 50. It's like sometimes they'll hit you like, let's hit you with a song that's about sex, everybody. In the middle of all the Taylor Swift that they play, which I'm obviously cool with.
Of course, you're all for it.
Yeah. But I love that sometimes the DJ will just sneak in a song about like, we are going to play a song about sex. All right, so a Rare Beast has the stats for us here. Look at this.
What is this shit? Why do you have these stats?
Don't say no. We appreciate you, A Rare Beast. Thank you.
I'm glad you did it. You probably went through the playlist, which I appreciate. That was from New Year's Eve. Oh, we probably did that with the thank you stream, right?
I don't know. No, we didn't do that show. We didn't do that show like on New Year's Eve, I don't think.
I don't remember.
That was an ITW episode.
We did an ITW on New Year's Eve, eh?
Yeah.
Brother, I don't remember what I did yesterday, okay?
Fair. But like it was morning. We weren't doing shit in the morning. I would have done the show on New Year's Day, honestly.
I
who cares?
I did at home, so I was trying not to. How do we go 3? Oh, I know what that was. Never mind. We're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
Tell me off air. All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Okay.
We beat that. We beat that record. All right.
All right, well, good.
Oh man. All right, we did it. Congratulations. The All In Texas made us go more than whatever. Let's go watch the home run derby, I guess. Go watch Raw. I don't care. Go watch nothing. Go outside. Go do things. Jeremy,
Fair.
we'll be back with SP3 tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, talking about Raw, talking about whatever. Sure, they'll be yelling and screaming, but it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.